video.
Hello and welcome to the Filter Free Podcast. I am your host, TJ Stevens.
Problematic.
Out of my left earbud.
Getting off to a banging start here.
Joining me as always,
Step ends.
WrestleMania Dave.
I touched myself.
I just need to clip that. Just Dave leaning for I touched myself.
And Timmy C.
Goo, goo, goo.
Dave's is awesome, and he got a new hat, and it's hilarious. Are you drunk, yes or no? And it's marked on the right-hand side for both.
Time limit draws get my panties wet. I love it.
We've covered this butt wipe on a few different occasions.
Butt wipe?
You don't call people butt wipe anymore?
No. I'm not 7. Good news is I've limited the producer's amount to screw us over this, so we're actually going to get to sing along with the songs now. You are welcome.
You gotta fight for your right to
Pow!
Hello and welcome to the Filter Free Podcast. I am your host, TJ Stevens.
Step ends.
Step hens.
Both of you.
It depends.
Depends.
I'm not wearing any.
Going,
As always,
going commando.
no, I'm not doing that. It's dangerous. Bill Dave
Hey.
and Timmy C.
Who?
So
Hold on. Disclaimer. We're
we're
watching
doing-
WrestleMania 5, but it is farking long. So when you pull your cock out, take it to the 51st minute. It's the beginning of the Blue Blazer Mr. Perfect match. That's right. The Good Heart is wrestling.
Oh.
So take it there whenever we tell you to hit play, which TJ's going to do here real soon.
Also,
I didn't think Teddy Hart was on this show.
Oh, that's wow.
Natalia.
So I've been experiencing, for some reason, my web browser will not allow me to open Peacock, so I'm going to watch it on my phone like a trooper.
Can't get your cock out?
Not on my computer, on my phone, yes.
That's
So,
weird.
I hope you're following me on Snapchat. So let's get ready to hit play. So 51 minutes on the dot.
Exactly.
And here we go in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, play. Now we can start the show. Please remember to subscribe and rate the show wherever you get your podcast. While you're at it, follow the show on Twitter at FF Popcast, on Instagram at Filter Free Popcast. Follow our new network on Twitter at RamSportsNet. Timmy and Dave, we have just been releasing shits left and right all over the Patreon. So much.
Yeah, you guys put something in there last night.
Did.
Dave finally started his NWA from 1985 show. Haven't seen it yet. I've been busy. I had a lot of soccer and middle school and all kinds of crazy stuff going on.
It was good.
I wish I'd have been there.
Well, we're going to do another one next week.
I'll be there. Maybe. Possibly. But if you go to our Patreon, www.patreon.com/Ram Network, you're going to get all of our classic stuff. You're going to get Legends Let's Rethink This with Nick Aldis. You're going to get it with Larry Zbyszko. You're going to get it with Steve Kern,
Ken Shamrock.
I mean, just all the old schools. You'll get Footballers, Getting Paid with Tim and Dave coming back in the fall. Can't wait to attack this. Football's wonky this year. It's going to be crazy.
I haven't even poured myself a drink yet. That's how close to the wire we were cutting it.
You'll get Old School Evolution of Evil. You'll get me and Dave wrestling with commercials. You'll get the Pondwater Dave Show, TNA Top 10. You will get me and Pondwater Dave we're going to put something in the can this weekend. We're going to go back and watch some old school world class.
You're not doing that without me, fucker.
I want to see how he reacts when I call Kerry Von Erich old 1 foot. I'm sure that's going to go over well.
It should go over like a fart in church, as they say.
So you'll get both sides of that world class, but literally more content that you could shake a stick at. You couldn't keep up with it if you tried.
You also have Justin's show. They're supposed to be coming. This just in. And
Little wrestling news.
I see what he did there. This just
Very good.
in.
So he's supposed to be starting his show up now that he's off his being sick.
But actually, I was just going through, which, by the way, we should also promote our
Mr. Perfect and the Blue Blazer just locked up.
Yes, we should. We should also promote our YouTube. So if you want to watch these watch-alongs, I mean, obviously you can listen to us, but we have very beautiful faces, and if you want to watch these watch-alongs on video, you can go to youtube.com and just look for Filter Free Podcast. And I actually just found somehow one slipped through the cracks here. We covered ECW 2007 in February.
It's probably because you're not wearing Depends.
I don't know why yet, but we didn't post it on our Patreon or anywhere else for that matter. The audio was posted, not the video. That is now
because I handle the audio, of course.
Shut up. So I just posted that today.
What's that for?
This morning. That was our February 2007 ECW shit.
Ooh, that was bad.
It was a bad show.
I'd rather watch XPW.
Yeah.
No.
No. Boy, I don't know about that. I mean, they only had one match. Granted.
Get your credit card. I'm buying that subscription.
Nice. All right. So, are we ready to start? Because now this week we're doing the second half.
Wait, before we start, do you guys have writing objects? For Dave's faves.
Do I? I have a piece of paper here.
I'll be right back.
Hashtag Ram on it. I had a pencil at one time. I have a Sharpie. Timmy quit the show.
The Blue Blazer picks up Mr. Perfect. Oh, backbreaker. He goes for the pin. 1. And Perfect kicks out at 1. Mr. Perfect in his green singlet. We got a suplex thingy.
I mean,
another cover. Perfect kicks out before 1. Referee's Tim White here.
I would say that the signature Mr. Perfect singlet is the black with the baby blue accent, right?
Or the orange.
I have a crayon now.
I have nothing. My pencil has vanished.
I have a book to write in.
Is it on the floor, perhaps?
You guys need little dry erase boards with a marker. That's what you need.
I mean, you kind of told me that this morning, so I didn't have time to run one out and get one.
We have 7 movies this week.
Holy! Well, I'm gonna beat him then.
You're down 8-4. Nobody got the point for Field of Dreams. It was too close to call.
What?
I'm gonna concede that TJ did say it first.
Yeah, that's right.
So it's 9-4. TJ, he gets the point just because. What do you mean? I was already taking a sip of my drink when you finished.
By the way, T-Rob is joining us over on Instagram right now.
Ah, Travis.
Yep.
All right, let's do this. Stories that missed the cut. Up first.
Hey,
hold on.
Oh. You're missing so much. We're ready to do the second half of April of '89. We did the first half last week because we watched Clash of the Champions 6 Raging Cajun. Timmy, are you ready?
Always.
So let's go. This week, we're going back to April 2nd, 1989. Again, as we watch WrestleMania 5, and you're watching it live with us. However, before we get to that show, let's see what was happening in your world yesterday. Let's run through some events. Filter free up.
Body slam.
Okay. April 15th, an unfortunate event in Sheffield, England, as Liverpool and Nottingham Forest played its final game. And part of the stadium collapsed, killing 96, injuring 766.
Was Robin Hood there?
In Nottingham?
Yeah.
Perhaps. April 15th, this story, I laughed literally when I wrote this out. The largest lottery at the time is hit as there is a winner in Illinois for a whopping $69 million.
69.
You know how much money he took home
I do
after
not.
being taxed by Illinois?
$7.
11.
It was The Rock,
$14
actually.
and 12 cents.
They mailed him a hot dog.
It was The Rock. $7 entertainment.
He had to pay them $6.
April 19th, we have a gun turret explosion on the USS Iowa, killing 47 sailors.
I don't know how you have a ship called the USS Iowa when it's not near any water.
No water at
Great
all.
point. D-Rob already asking for a time code because he's responsible. So it is 58, 20,
21, 22, 23. Mr. Perfect just won. He's walking out of the ring. Like I said, the best heart is Teddy.
I will guarantee that the USS Iowa is the lowest scoring ship in history. Just like the football team.
Great
April
defense,
19th.
though.
Kevin
Bet the
Elster,
under.
a shortstop for the New York Mets, sets a record for shortstops. He finishes his 73rd consecutive errorless game.
Woohoo.
I think I had a Kevin Elster rookie card. April 21st, George W. Bush and Edward R. Rose become joint CEOs of the baseball team, the Texas Rangers.
Pete
Dave's gonna
Rose?
eat dinner. What?
Peter Edward Rose?
No.
his
Edward R.
name?
Rose. Edward
I
R.
don't like
Morrow.
him.
April 22nd, Emilio J. Segre, the Italian physicist
Emilio!
and
I
Nobel
was like,
laureate
Emilio!
who discovered the elements technetium, astatine, and the subatomic antiparticle antiproton, dies of a heart attack at age 84.
Astatine. That doesn't.
Astatine.
Sounds like a very brown element.
The mighty
Ooh.
duck man himself. I swear to God. I was like, Emilio!
April 23rd, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar plays in his final game and scores 10 points in a 127-117 win over the Laker win over the Sonics.
The Lakers beat the Supersonics.
April 23rd, Texas Rangers pitcher Nolan Ryan loses a no-hitter in the 9th inning.
Yeah, couldn't compile that one, could he?
Was it a bunt?
Jesse Ventura going ape shit in the box here.
Whoa. Porn.
April 24th, the state of Massachusetts declares this day New Kids on the Block Day.
Had the right stuff.
Thank you. That's very
They were
good.
hanging tough.
Wahlberg. April 25th,
Marky
Pittsburgh
Mark?
Penguins legend Mario Lemieux ties an NHL record by scoring 4 goals in the first period of a playoff game. Playoffs.
He's
Could
no
you
Al
imagine
Bundy.
if Michael Jordan only scored 4 points in a game?
It's 4.
Pathetic.
No, it's much harder to score in the NHL than
Pathetic.
basketball.
Al Bundy scored 28 points in a game, 4 touchdowns, 1 game.
Different sport.
Much better sport.
That'd be 24 points.
No,
That's
he
true.
kicked the field goal too.
Yeah.
Wow, did he? Wow, he's Jim O'Brien over here. April 26th, Mike Tyson gets a speeding ticket for drag racing his Lamborghini.
He had a bad month. Didn't he have something else?
Yeah,
happen
didn't he
last
punch
month?
a guy for bumping into
Yeah.
his car earlier?
No, the guy asked him to move because he was
Oh.
double
Well,
parked. Tyson punched him.
Well, he learned his lesson. He was trying to move too quickly here.
Trying to block anybody. April 27th, a
You told
hurricane
me
in
to move my
Bangladesh kills
car.
500.
Shane Helms
The famous moment where Mr. Fuji wins a marathon. In a
painted
tuxedo.
and in a tuxedo.
April
I was
28th,
there.
Argentina, a country leveled by inflation, runs out of money.
We got a bunch of people I know that are Argentinian.
April 29th, John Bon
Giant
Jovi.
Gonzalez was from Argentina.
Who?
Giant Gonzalez.
Oh, he was. April 29th, John Bon Jovi. A source of controversy in last week's show. Marries high school sweetheart Dorothea Hurley. A great
Source.
in Las Vegas.
There's not many Dorotheas left out there.
It's a solid first name.
Solid old school name.
I wonder if they're still married.
Probably
know.
not.
And I want to see what she looks like.
Okay.
I hope
that's
she
your
looks like a
assignment.
Dorothea.
April 30th,
Please tell
Robin
us.
Williams marries Marsha Grayson Lake Tahoe. Tahoe.
Interesting.
Good talk. April
Still
30th.
married. Still married.
Nice.
She
Noise.
is,
Noise.
let's see if she's nice looking.
Mm.
She was in 1989.
Now she looks like Richie Sambora.
I can't tell which one's her though. They're both cute.
She doesn't look like a Dorothea at all.
Oh, she looks every bit of 69 now. Or 61, yeah.
Oh.
She's 61, but she looks every bit of 69.
I wonder if they still 69.
Absolutely.
Run DMC's here.
While they're listening to Young Guns in the background.
They're going to do the
April 30th.
WrestleMania rap.
Movie critics from Chicago, Siskel and Ebert, record their 500th TV show.
No one watched.
I didn't know they had a show.
Where do you think they did the thumbs up and thumbs down at?
On the fucking newspaper.
They did that too.
They did.
Chicago Sun-Times, man.
You know what's fun is I actually found out one of them wrote for the Sun-Times, the other one wrote for the Tribune.
And both of them were on a television show together.
That's correct. April 30th, the World Wide Web is launched into public domain by CERN scientist Tim Berners-Lee.
How did we not cover this? Like, how did this miss the cut?
We should have had that in there. My work would have been easy this week.
Did you not read the stories that made the cut?
I did.
I didn't.
They were due. Dave has no notes for this show. Stories in the wheelhouse. April 19th, we start the show with one of the most high-profile and unfortunate cases in recent American courtroom history, as this is the day of the Central Park 5 assault occurred. The case is centered around the victim, a jogger by the name of Trisha Miley, who ultimately became the five people accused of the assault of Trisha: Antron McCray, Kevin Richardson, Yusef Salaam, Raymond Santana, and Corey Wise. The events begin with Trisha Miley going on her typical Central Park evening run. What she didn't know is that an estimated 20 to 32 teenagers entered the park through an entrance in Harlem. There are reports of bicyclists throwing rocks at cars, as well as other assaults, attacks, and robberies against other joggers, walkers, or bicyclists in the park. Trisha Miley was knocked down during her run, dragged 300 feet, and was then beaten and sexually assaulted. Several hours later, she was found naked, gagged, tied, and covered in mud in a shallow ravine in the park. The beating Miley received resulted in a 12-day coma, and one of the responding officers saying she had been beaten as badly as anybody I've ever seen. And this is New York in the late 80s.
It was bad.
Yeah. Well, this was the end of the mob, so yeah. The attack resulted in hypothermia, severe brain damage, severe hemorrhagic shock, loss of 75% of her blood, skull fractures, and a dislodged left eye. She couldn't even be identified for over 24 hours. It seemed like a slam dunk case. Unfortunately, this wouldn't be a story if that's what actually happened.
Police took custody of Raymond Santana, Kevin Richardson, Stephen Lopez, Antron McCray, and Yusef Salaam within 24 hours of the attack, as they had been identified by other youth participants as being there at the attacks and by other victims in Central Park. The videotaped confession started on April 21st after detectives finished unrecorded interrogations during which the suspects were in custody for at least 7 hours. None of the men had defense attorneys during the interrogation process. McCray, Salaam, Santana, and a sixth man, Corey Wise, told police they had been part of a makeshift group of about 30 people, some of whom had committed various crimes and some who had merely observed those crimes. Although 4 suspects, all except Lopez and Salaam, confessed on videotape in the presence of a parent or guardian, each of the 4 retracted their statements within weeks, claiming that they had been intimidated, lied to, and coerced by police into making false confessions. Here's the kicker. While the accounts offered up the crimes besides rape were accurate, their accounts of the rape contained discrepancies as to when, where, and how it happened. Only Corey Wise made any statement about different times and locations of the jogger attack. He was eventually let go. None of the 5 said that he had raped the jogger, but each confessed to having been an accomplice.
Okay, so we did not do our notes in concert here. So from where Dave's notes
I have
my
more
notes
for this though.
Huh?
I have more for this though that we'll get to.
Okay. Well, between this time, after these guys went to jail, there was another guy in jail that confessed to it, DNA became a thing, and they tested the DNA, and the guy that confessed to it, they found his DNA. So
yeah, that's his name was Matthias Reyes.
yeah.
So he is the one who did it.
Here's the kicker to that, though. Those guys were there too, definitely, allegedly. But the DA recommended to vacate the convictions. It was strongly opposed by the lead detectives on the case and other members of the police department. Police Commissioner Raymond Kelly complained at the time that Morgenthau, who is the district attorney, his staff, and his detectives had access to important evidence, and they needed to conduct a more thorough investigation. Linda Farstein, who directed the original prosecution, agreed with the decision to vacate the rape charges, but said the separate assault charges should have remained. Morgenthau would later express regret assigning the case to Fairstein, saying, quote, I had complete confidence in Linda Fairstein. Turned out to be misplaced, but we rectified it. So they let these guys go, even though there was strong evidence.
Yeah, these guys are not innocent victims here.
They definitely assaulted her and possibly gang raped her, and this guy just happened to be the last one. So not only did these asshats get sprung on their sentence, they went on to sue the city and state courts and get settlements of anywhere from about $8 to $15 million each. Fucking
in 1989.
Fucking
That's 4.6 trillion nowadays.
They always use the number trillion.
It's stupid.
That's Ukraine money.
We let them out of jail, and then we're gonna let them sue us. And
yeah, these guys weren't there just being hee haw, everything's fine. These guys were doing a lot of bullshit there, and there's something that happened with this girl, and these guys know what happened.
Yeah, but they're rich now. Stupid.
Oh, so
box score trivia? No,
I don't even know how I would do that. So,
Mike Tyson, he committed rape.
That's true. We're just going to list rapists.
Definitely, allegedly.
Okay. This is that we're watching the new Babyface Demolition, as they were turned on by Mr. Fuji in favor of the Powers of Pain in one of the worst managerial moves ever.
They had started to become baby faces long before they were actually baby faces.
Oh yeah, but
yeah, the crowd was totally behind them.
Oh yeah,
Demolition was awesome. I was second grade here, and I loved Demolition.
By the way, Mr. Fuji is here in his trunks and no shirt. I'm guessing he's near 60 here, and he looks fantastic.
Got a good tan going on.
I'm gonna look.
I mean, he just won a marathon.
That's true.
Yeah,
you know what?
It was only a 5K.
Actually, it's the same face paint.
Yeah. All he did was lose the tuxedo. You figured he ran the marathon in his trunks.
He would have been just shy of 55 here.
Oh, not bad. Hope I look good that good at 55.
You ain't shitting. I'm gonna start painting my face. Here we go.
He looks like Jericho.
What?
He looks better than Jericho.
Here we go. Speaking of box score trivia, April 23rd. Let's head on down to the New York Marriott Marquis as we pay witness to this year's NFL draft. This is arguably the most loaded draft class of all time. So loaded that the rules had to be changed just for them. It also features one of the biggest draft busts ever. Let's start with some stats. The Chicago Bears had the most picks in this draft they had 20, including number 10 and number 11, while the Eagles had the fewest with 4. I don't know that's possible.
Because it was like 12 rounds here.
That's true. 4 Hall of Famers went in the first 5 picks in the forms of Deion Sanders at number 5, Derek Thomas at number 4, Barry Sanders at number 3, and Troy Aikman at number 1 overall.
Was
Tony
Barry
Mandarich
Deion's
was
brother?
number 2 to Green Bay. Huh? What?
Was Barry Deion's brother?
No.
Oh.
Or
Cousin?
Reggie's or Mike's. Above
Or
average.
Colonel? He was the Colonel's son.
I don't think. I mean, maybe. Tony Mandarich did not go in the Hall of Fame. In fact, the can't-miss offensive lineman prospect from Michigan State, also known as the Incredible Bulk, is considered to be one of the biggest draft busts ever when he went to the Packers.
We'll come back to that.
Yep. One more Hall of Famer came from this class in the form of Denver Broncos safety Steve Atwater. You remember him for his famous hit on Kansas City running back Christian Okoye. There were an additional 21 future Pro Bowlers in this draft. I'm going to finish up doing some Cowboys talk here for Rucker. The 88 Cowboys went 3-13, but they did draft Michael Irvin that year.
They're probably going to go 3-13 this year.
Probably. The 3-13 record gave them the number 1 pick and resulted in Troy Aikman. This season, they'd go 1-15, only the second team to do so since the 16-game schedule came out in 1978, the other being the 1980 New Orleans Saints.
Hey, hot take here. Demolition and the Powers of Pain are getting ready to lock up in what is the greatest tag team match in WrestleMania history.
Did you miss like 93 through 2010?
Well, he missed every other tag team match in WrestleMania history except this one.
Since the Saints and the Cowboys did it, there's been 2 other teams to do it, and it was in the next 3 seasons. The Patriots did it in 90, and the Colts did it in 91. This was also the first season under new head coach Jimmy Johnson. The next draft, the Cowboys drafted Emmitt Smith, and the 90s dynasty began to take shape. By the way, I mentioned a rules change. Let me make sure one of you pricks isn't going to talk about it, and you're not.
I did not.
Barry Sanders was a junior here. And at the time, juniors were not allowed to declare for the draft. They let Barry Sanders declare because Oklahoma State was essentially about to get the death penalty for 5 years. So they let him declare for the draft.
Well, it wasn't the death penalty, but they were getting hit hard.
Yeah, they were going to get smacked around a little bit.
Because they were paying Barry Sanders.
Yes.
And Thurman Thomas. And with the 6th pick in the NFL draft, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers select Broderick Thomas, linebacker, Nebraska.
Great story.
Could you imagine a team selecting a linebacker with the 6th pick anymore?
Mm-mm.
That team should be banned from the NFL if they do that now.
When did Lewis and Urlacher get drafted?
I mean, like Derek Brooks got drafted like 15th.
Yeah, you just don't see linebackers in the first round anymore.
Mm-mm.
It's like running backs.
That's true.
They might have one running back in the first round this year, Trey Benson from Florida State.
I don't think
he
might
have
any in the first round.
And I don't think he's going to get it. I think he's going to be a day 2.
That's crazy.
Considered one of the greatest defensive players in Nebraska football history, Thomas was named to the Nebraska All-Century team and gave himself the nickname Sandman because he put running backs to sleep.
That's not how that works.
Dun, 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 dun.
No, you don't give yourself a nickname.
He also carried around a kendo stick.
Well, I mean, you gave yourself the nickname Asshole and Pathead.
It's true.
I did not.
Thomas was projected as an outside linebacker or defensive end, but the geniuses running the Bucs had him play middle linebacker in a 4-3 defense as a rookie, in which he experienced problems learning the system. In 1990, Thomas was named the starter at outside linebacker where he belonged and posted 72 tackles and led the team with both 7.5 sacks and 33 quarterback pressures. After being shot in the chest and right arm during the offseason,
shouldn't have been standing there.
1991 was his best year, finishing with 174 tackles, which tied a franchise record.
The tied
11 sacks and 22 quarterback pressures to go.
Was anyone else on
tackles
defense
for loss and 7 forced fumbles?
They felt bad for him for being shot, so they just let him by.
174 tackles is a ton.
By the way, the Buccaneers only played 8 people on defense that year.
Thomas received Pro Bowl consideration, but didn't make the team.
That's stupid.
Well, the team was probably
those numbers are
2-14.
crazy. How did he? The team probably sucked balls, but still, 174 tackles, and
117 of them were in the end zone. He tackled
174 tackles and 11 sacks, and you don't make the Pro Bowl? You've got to be shitting me.
Say this was 91.
89.
So Hermes said he came from a 4-4 defense. Yeah.
You say this was 91, Dave? He went to the Pro Bowl?
Yeah, 91. No, he did not make the Pro Bowl. He didn't make it.
Well, I'm saying he these
Yeah.
numbers he posted.
So I want to know who was above him in 91.
3 and 13.
So,
That's
yeah,
why.
I mean, yeah.
And let's look up
Yeah,
1990.
172 tackles. Every one of them was beyond the 10-yard, beyond the line of scrimmage.
But that was it. In 1992, Thomas reported to camp overweight and was never the same again. After the 93 season, he signed with Detroit Lions as a free agent and bounced around to about 3 more teams, and that was it. I want to know who was ahead of him. 174 tackles, 11 sacks.
I'm looking it up right now. So outside Lambeau, shit. No wonder why he didn't make it. The reserve was Pat Swilling of the New Orleans Saints, the Dome Patrol we covered before.
Yep.
The 2 starters, Charles Haley and Lawrence Taylor.
Well, I figured Lawrence Taylor was out there, but I wonder if Charles Haley and Lawrence Taylor made it off name value or
Taylor definitely.
Guaranteed.
Because that's a hell of a year.
91
He was winding
year,
down
wasn't
at
it?
that point. Yeah.
No, 94 was his last year.
Okay.
93, the
last good
93
year.
season. He retired and then wrestled. I guess 94 season was his last year
'cause he
because he
retired
retired
at
and wrestled at WrestleMania.
Yep.
Well, you know who didn't get onto that Pro Bowl either? Tony Mandrich.
Mm-hmm.
Mandrich was born and raised in Oakville, Ontario, Canada.
I love his
wonder he-
oranges.
No wonder he wasn't any good. He thought he was playing
Mandrich.
Canadian football out there. That's why he sucked. He was recruited to Michigan State University by defensive backs coach Nick Saban. You may have heard of him. Mandrich played in the
Nick
1988
Saban
Rose Bowl
sucks.
and was named first team
He's no
All-American,
Mac Brown.
an Outland Award finalist, and 2-time Big Ten Lineman of the Year. That's about where his football career stops, pretty much. So let's just go on to September of 2008. Mandrich admitted to using anabolic steroids during his college career at Michigan State, and that he faked a drug test before the 88 Rose Bowl.
What?
Mandrich stated he did not use steroids while in the NFL. Maybe he should have, but did reveal that he was addicted to alcohol and painkillers. Terrible substitute, by the way, while playing for the Packers. In March of 2009 issue of Sports Illustrated, Mandrich spoke about his use and addiction and about his book called My Dirty Little Secret, Steroids, Alcohol, and God.
God's dirty little secret?
2 out of 3 ain't bad.
Mm.
Mandrich said his underwhelming performance with the Green Bay Packers was due to his painkiller addiction, which sapped his drive and work ethic. Should have stayed on steroids. I don't know what to tell you, buddy. His addiction was such that he kept syringes in his athletic supporter, which is very dangerous, to have narcotic supply close at hand.
What?
Or
Shots
close
to
at
the
balls. Could you imagine if, like, you accidentally shot yourself in the balls with painkillers?
I wouldn't want to move either.
That's how that Tampa Bay guy got so many tackles. He got 75 of them the game he was playing against Mandrich. He just kept blowing by him because he shot himself in the balls with a painkiller. Mandrich went on to describe his traumatic and triumphant stint in rehab, which is a really interesting way to put that, and his subsequent return to the NFL. He went back,
Graduated from rehab last week. What's up?
Played for the Colts. I didn't write the book for forgiveness, Mandrich said. I wrote the book for explanation and for hopefully helping someone see the light, that there is hope for addiction and alcoholism and you can change your life. And money. He also wrote the book for money.
So there's a couple more things here on Mandrich. So he did make a comeback for the Colts, and he was the starting right guard, I believe, the first 2 seasons for Peyton Manning.
He became very average.
Yeah, he was okay. He was average.
It happens when you're not shooting yourself in the balls with painkillers.
It's amazing how much more drive you have
My dick is limp.
all the time.
I don't feel it.
And then also, another interesting thing about Mandrich is, so the only reason why
Wonder if he sells noodles.
I shouldn't say the only reason the Cowboys, the only reason why the Cowboys were absolutely just no sold, we're not drafting him, is alleged. Well, actually, this isn't allegedly, it happened. He left Michigan State, I believe, his junior year, in the middle of it, dropped out, and then for the year and a half until he got drafted, he was just at what is that, Muscle Beach in California, just bodybuilding.
Time check 1:22:32, 33, 34. Macho
Looking
Man
at
is
us
going
stealing.
ape shit.
Yes.
Randy Savage whooping that ass.
The
So
cameraman.
I guess now that we've talked about Tony Mandarich, that only means one thing. It's my turn.
But today, I'm the greatest of all time.
Vernon and Waugh. Mike Vernon with a great left.
Here it is. 8. Pressure with 3. Wentz is going to run the ball. Makes a guy miss. Come down to over the second rafter. Off the floor. Nothing but net. Through the window. Off the wall. Nothing but net. You like that? You like that? I like that.
You gotta like that, right?
I just took a drink and an ice cube hit me right in the back of the throat. Here we go.
Swallower.
I'm not well.
Better than
NFL
Tony Mandarich hitting you in the back of the throat.
or my balls. Here we go. NFL league leaders 1989. Right now it is 13-4. Dave is in a
I might just
commanding
take
lead.
this game off.
Although Dave, you did lose last week 1-0.
Yeah.
I got so it's 2-1. 2 weeks
No,
to 1 week.
That's not true. So league leaders 89. We'll start with Timmy.
5 shows this month, dummy. 3-1.
It's true. So do you want, we give you the option. Do you want passing yards or passing touchdowns?
I get to go first this time.
Why?
We'll start with Timmy. I get to go first this time.
Timmy went first last time.
He's down 13-4.
Let him
I
have
don't
it.
give a shit. No mercy.
Let him have it. Wait,
All right.
how many's he got?
I show no
13.
mercy.
Dave, do you want passing yards or passing touchdowns?
Yards, man. Let's roll yards.
Passing yards, top 10. How many can you name?
1989. 4.
Timmy, can you do 5?
Yeah.
Oh, shit. Here we go.
Dan Marino.
Third, 3,997.
John Elway.
No. Dave, you need 2.
Okay. Warren Moon.
Fifth, 3,631.
Joe Montana.
8.
I just missed a bunch of that. Was John Elway not part of that?
No, he was not. I'm getting ready to list you the top 10. You ready?
Damn Kentucky shitternet.
10th, Randall Cunningham had 3,400. 9th, the legendary Chris Miller of the Atlanta Falcons. 7th, Cincinnati Bengals legend Boomer Esiason, 3,525.
I was getting to him.
6th, Bernie Kosar. 4th, Mark Rippon. 2nd, Jim, don't call me Chris Everett.
Where
In
the
your
fuck
league-
was John Elway?
Not on this list. The league leader of the Green Bay Packers, John the Magic Man Majkowski, 4,318.
Who?
Dan Majkowski.
He's the guy
got-
who Brett Favre
Are
got in front of.
replaced. Yeah. Timmy, you're up. We'll do, since we did yards in the last one, we'll do rushing touchdown. There's our more than 10. How many rushing touchdown leaders can you name from 1989?
2.
Dave, can you do 3?
3.
Dave, let's do 3.
Barry Sanders.
Tied for second with 14.
James Brooks.
Tied for 10th with 7.
Christian Okoye.
Christian Okoye, 5th with 12. Timmy, can you do 4? Because you need 4.
Is this 88, 89, or 89, 90?
They only play in 1 year. It's 89.
Why does it matter?
Well, the
you
88,
cheating?
89 team. Well, they play every season goes over 2 years. They do the final game is usually in January.
That's true, but playoff games don't count in the regular season stats.
All right. So who did he get?
Why are you looking at your phone?
Barry
I'm looking.
Sanders-
I want to see what happened to John Elway in 1989.
Barry Sanders,
So
James
pissed off.
Brooks,
Come on,
and
Quillo.
Christian Okoye.
And Christian Okoye. That was his other one.
Don't be a cheater, Quillo.
Oh,
Let's see. Herschel Walker.
no. Here's
Eric Dickerson.
Here's the rest of your top 10. Tied for 10 with James Brooks. Ernest Biner and Eric Dickerson was 7. 8th, tied for 8th, Merrill Hodge of the Pittsburgh Steelers and Lars Tate of
ESPN legend Merrill
That's right.
Hodge.
7, Marion Butts had 9.
That's Florida State Seminole legend. Marion
That's
Butts.
right. 6th of your Chicago Bears, Neil Anderson had 11. 4th, Dalton Hilliard of the New Orleans Saints had 13. Tied for Barry Sanders, Otis Anderson of the New York Giants had 14.
It's Otis.
It's Otis, you dork.
It's Otis. And your league leader was Greg Bell with 15. Pondwater
Otis.
Dave's here.
Okay,
That was Greg Bell.
I'm gonna start calling you TR. Greg Bell was the Rams. He was before or like right after Dickerson.
He replaced Dickerson, yes.
Yeah.
Pondwater's here. Dave, we're doing 1989 NFL league leaders. I'm going to give you this one. We're doing receiving touchdown leaders for 89. How many can you name?
See, the Cowboys sucked really bad in '89.
We just talked about it. They were terrible.
Yeah, 1-15.
Mm-hmm. Led Detroit. There's some good ones on this list.
Did you already
there is
mentioned
a
Jerry
Bengal.
Rice?
Don't give names. You got to
Hey,
say
you
how
can't
many
say
you
it
can get.
before you start.
Give
Oh.
a number.
How many
Oh.
can you name? By the way,
Oh.
league leader was Jerry Rice, so we got to scratch that
Well,
one.
then I can name one.
All right. Dave,
All right.
can you do 2?
Yeah, for sure.
Timmy,
89?
can you do 3?
Yep.
Dave, can you do 4?
I can do 4.
Timmy, can
Go
you do
for
5?
it. Go for
All
it.
right.
Go for it.
All right. Andre Reed,
Tied for, I almost said no. Tied for 6 with 9.
Art Monk,
No. Timmy, you need 2.
Tim Brown.
Hey, is there a Buccaneer on this list?
There
89.
is.
Mark Carrier.
It is. Tied for 6.
Mark
Here's the rest of your
Duper.
top
Hart
10.
Clayton.
Rodney Holman of the Cincinnati Bengals. Mervyn
I would
Fernandez.
have going to say Harold Green for the Bengals.
Mark Clayton. Gary Clark all had 9. Tied for 4th, Anthony Miller and John Taylor had 10. 3rd, Chris Carter had 11. 2nd, Sterling Sharp had 12. Now you know how we always end sacks just because I like to watch you guys struggle. Timmy, you're up. Sack leaders 89. How many you got?
Oof.
You know Bravo
2.
just beat
2.
somebody, Ronnie Garvin.
Prove it.
Dave, can you do 3?
Prove it.
Dave, can you do Pondwater Dave, can you do 3?
No.
Christian Okoye.
Timmy, you got 2. Hit it.
Reggie White.
This is just not your day.
How is Reggie? I think Reggie White and John Elway got thrown into prison this year.
Lawrence Taylor.
Every year around there.
7th with 15.
Charles,
I
Pondwater, can
win.
you do
I get the
2?
point.
I can do 2. Randy White.
Randy White.
That's
He
Reggie
was-
White's little brother.
He was
Kevin
retired for like a
Green.
decade now, wasn't he?
I thought he still playing '89.
Was he? Well, he's not here.
Okay,
Here's
Dana
and then,
Stubblefield.
well, then my other guess would have been Charles Haley.
So I get the point. Tim
Nope.
got 0. I got 1.
10th, Leslie O'Neal. 9th, Bruce Smith. 9th, Lee Williams. 6th, Clyde Simmons. Tied for 4th, Pat Swilling and Kevin Green. 3rd, Keith Millard. 2nd, Tim Harris, and your league leader of the Minnesota Vikings, Chris Dolman, had 21.
All right, here
And
we go,
Matt-
guys. Time check. 132, 11, 12, 13. Strike Force just came to the ring. They're
They're the
about to
Brainbusters.
wrestle the Brainbusters. That's
They're about
Miss
to split
Amy's
up.
favorite tag team of all time
The perfect
because they
timing
would
by Miss Amy.
destroy FTW or whatever, FTR.
Anyway, to close up box score trivia, Dave won by, I don't know, a baker's dozen. I'm not sure.
Amy and Pondwater, you need writing utensils for Have You Seen It?
Okay.
So you have time to look. We still have one more story.
One more story to do, and then we're hopping into the Trivioki and Have You Seen It? I think Miss Amy will like this story, maybe even Pondwater. April 26th. The world mourns the loss of one of the biggest and most influential female voices possibly ever, as we lose Lucille Ball at 77 years old. When you want to start a list of the most influential women or influential comedic television shows, Lucille Ball is near the top of that list for both, if not at the top.
Definitely.
At just 15 years old, Ball was enrolled in the John Murray Anderson School for Dramatic Arts in New York.
I loved his music.
Who?
John Anderson. Just a
John Murray Anderson.
Swinging.
I'm ashamed of you. Her mother enrolled her into the school due to Lucy dating some neighborhood hoodlum and wanted to use Lucy's love of acting to break up the relationship. I'd say it was a win for literally everyone involved on Earth except that guy.
Just because he was from Cuba doesn't mean he was a hoodlum.
No, that's not him. We'll get to that.
Okay.
No.
We'll get to that hoodlum here in a little bit.
That's Desi Arnaz.
He's coming.
Apparently a lot in the 50s.
However, Lucy didn't perform well in the school and was even told by her teachers that she would never be successful in acting. Good on you. She left the school bound and determined to prove them wrong, but then she got rheumatic fever and didn't act for nearly 2 years because it was the 30s.
Was she acting sick?
In 1932, she stuck her toe in the waters again by supporting herself, working for Hattie Carnegie as an in-house model, as well as the Chesterfield Cigarette Girl.
Yeah.
She would move. Yeah, there you go. She would move to Hollywood in the mid-1930s and had some small roles in quite a few movies.
Was that a poor man's Marlboro?
I don't know if Marlboros was a thing yet.
They hadn't. The Marlboro Man.
Back in the day, we had a handful, and they were made with premium tobacco like Chesterfield, Pall Mall, Lucky Strikes.
Pall Mall's what the white dirt trash smoke.
Oh, that's right. The
Non-filtered.
30s. That's like Pondwater Dave's. This is his game here.
Well,
Exactly.
my grandfather, and Camel originally was a non-filter,
Yep.
the tobacco was infused with caramel.
Mhm.
So
Got to watch out for the toes on those.
my grandfather smoked them, and I mean, it's just that's how I remember it. Now he explained to me about how they were a higher quality.
These will kill you faster.
And they used to give you Lucky Strikes and MREs back in the day.
Premium tobacco, better cancer.
Well, no, the tobacco doesn't give you cancer. It's the tar.
Whoops.
Her first credited role was Chatterbox in 1936. Timmy saw it in the theaters, apparently Pondwater. Then some comedy roles came up, some Broadway roles, and then the big break. In 1942, Ball appeared opposite of Harry Fonda in The Big Street. She would later get a radio comedy show. Her show was so successful, CBS wanted to convert it to television.
Harry
Lucy
Fonda
agreed.
related to Jane?
Yes. I believe it's her dad.
What about Peter?
Henry was her dad.
Didn't I say Henry?
You said Harry.
Henry? No, it says Henry Fonda.
Oh yeah, that's.
Oh, you don't have our notes. I'm sorry. Yeah, I said Henry. I'm terrible at names. It's kind of my gimmick on the show. Except it's not a gimmick.
Andy's terrible at reading.
Yes.
Also not a gimmick.
But they wanted to convert this very successful radio show to television. Lucy agreed, but on one condition. Her counterpart was Desi Arnaz, her real-life husband. The rest, they say, is history.
So I went to a deep dive here with something that has nothing to do with anything,
I'm in.
and it was awesome.
Okay, now I'm excited.
When Ball registered to vote in 1936, she listed her party affiliation as communist, as did her brother and mother. To sponsor the Communist Party's 1936 candidate for the California State Assembly's 57th District, Ball signed a certificate stating, "I am registered as affiliated with the Communist Party."
Not surprised it was in California.
The same year, the Communist Party of California appointed her to the state's Central Committee, according to records of the Secretary of State of California.
I didn't realize they were so organized.
In 1937, well, they took everybody's money and then did this. In 1937, Hollywood writer Rena Vell, a self-identified communist, attended a class at an address identified to her as Ball's home, according to her testimony given before the United States House of Representatives Special House Un-American Activities Committee, the HUAC, on July 22nd, 1940.
I knew that.
2 years later, Vell affirmed this testimony in a sworn deposition.
There were bees everywhere.
Everywhere.
Swarm of communist bees, fucking wasps.
Just a
Little hammers and
full,
sickles on the back of them.
just a courtroom full of B. Brian Blairs.
Within a few days after my third application to join the Communist Party was made, I received a notice to attend a meeting on North Ogden Drive, Hollywood. Although it was a typed, unsigned note merely requesting my presence at the address at 8 o'clock in the evening on a given day, I knew it was the long-awaited notice to attend Communist Party's new members' classes. On arrival at this address, I found several others present. An elderly man informed us that we were guests of the screen actress Lucille Ball and showed us various pictures, books, and other objects to establish that fact, and stated she was glad to loan her home for a Communist Party new members class.
I'd like to thank TWeave for showing up for 4 seconds.
Making noise and then leaving.
And breathing.
Just breathing into the microphone.
Mute yourself, you heavy breather.
What are you doing?
You sound like me in a hotel after heavy drinking, recording an AWA watch along.
He's doing his Stu Hart impression.
In a 1944 Path News newsreel titled Fundraising for Roosevelt, Ball was featured prominently among several stage and film stars at events in support of President Franklin D. Roosevelt's fundraising campaign for the March of Dimes.
Holy shit, Dave. I just saw the rest of your notes.
She stated that in 1952 United States presidential election, she voted for Republican Dwight D. Eisenhower. On September 4th, 1953, Ball met voluntarily with HUAC investigator William A. Wheeler in Hollywood and gave him sealed testimony. She stated that she had not registered to vote as a communist or intended to vote the Communist Party ticket in 1936 at her socialist grandfather's insistence.
Noise.
She stated she at no time intended to vote as a communist. Her testimony was forwarded to J. Edgar Hoover in an FBI memorandum. Bell stated never been a member of the Communist Party to her knowledge. She did not know whether or not any meetings were ever held at her home at 1344 North Ogden Drive. Stated
they had meetings too.
That if she had been appointed as a delegate to the State Central Committee of the Communist Party of California in 1936, it was done without her knowledge or consent. Sure. And stated that she did not recall signing the document sponsored Emil Fried for the Communist Party nomination to the office of member of the Assembly for the 57th District. A review of the subject's file reflects no activity that would warrant her inclusion on the security index. Immediately before filming an episode of 68, The Girls Go Into Business of I Love Lucy, Desi Arnaz, instead of his usual audience warm-up, told the audience about Lucy and her grandfather. Reusing the line he had first given to Hedda Hopper in an interview, he quipped, "The only thing red about Lucy is her hair, and even that is not legitimate."
Rug doesn't match the drapes.
That's funny.
That's a dick move.
Back in those days,
What rug? She was a trailblazer.
there's no way she didn't have a huge bush.
Under her bloomers.
All right, let's talk about that shit bag, Desi Arnaz.
Do we have to?
Vanity Fair covered Desi Arnaz's issues in a 2020 article.
Oh, fact. Fact.
Arnaz, the big bone spouse of, which is a weird way to describe him, spouse on America's favorite TV show, had been caught out in real life with a prostitute.
A lady of the
At the
night.
very top of I Love Lucy's success. So dude's on TV, millions watching him. I need a hooker.
And I'm banging Hoovers.
And it seemed for some time he had, quote, sprinkled his affections all over Los Angeles.
Oh, that's not how I would describe that.
When CBS
In his defense,
he was Cuban?
He was a
no,
handsome
I
man.
mean,
He
sex
was
is
also a
probably the
communist.
it's probably the most natural thing money can buy. I'm just taking up for him because he greenlit Star Trek.
So is the clap. Apparently, it's
Star Trek is for nerds.
It's a natural thing money can buy.
I'm not gonna sit. I'm not gonna sit here and take that. I'm out of here.
No, Pondwater.
By the way, TWeave, make sure you have a piece of paper and a pencil.
Pondwater, you
Well,
send
crap.
him
I
one.
got homework. I'll be back in a few minutes.
Oh, Jesus. Here we go.
You got to come on the show.
Thin the room out. When CBS came to Lucy with her TV deal, she knew the offer was a lucky break. Still, she demanded the network cast Desi as her husband. Why? Because she feared that if he wasn't around her all the time, he'd cheat.
Well, she was right.
She was right. He would. And he apparently would pay for it, which is weird.
I found my pen.
The cover of January 1955 issue of The Confidential, which was like the National Enquirer back in the day,
And it was hosted by Gene Okerlund.
featured a shot of Lucille hugging Desi above the words, "Does Desi really love Lucy?" We already knew the answer.
And Hoovers.
The article described a business meeting at the Beverly Hills Hotel
Apple.
where a friend of Desi's got on the phone calling one of Hollywood's best door-to-door dame services.
Oh, that is, you know, that is an exact phone book description.
That is a great advertising line. A woman named Mindy evidently had sex with Desi and then with his friend, gross, leaving at 3:45 a.m., quote, considerably richer.
Well, I'd have sex with his friend to be considerably richer if it was a girl.
She peed on him.
Ew.
Good dude. Probably explains why Lucy finally divorced him. Yeah.
You're like piss all the time.
Some girl pees on me, we're gonna have problems. Hey, look, it's Robert Downey Sr. or whatever his name is.
Junior.
Robert Downey
Junior.
Morton Downey Jr.
It's the dad of Iron Man.
Hey, TWeave, I got a book for you.
You know what's fun about that book, T? When you open the cover, you know what's in
Yeah,
the book?
send it to me.
Nothing.
There apparently is no way to deal with massive penis.
I'm not the one that has to deal with it. Everybody else does.
No, it's just when you open the cover, it says you don't. You don't have a massive penis.
Page 1. Never mind.
So I believe that's our last story. We have a lot of people here.
I mean, it's my turn.
If I can find it, I lost my place.
Good job. That means it's my turn. Let's go to Timmy's Trivioki.
Figaro. Figaro, 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 Figaro.
That's not Tosca.
Ugh, my ears.
My neck. My back.
Yep, I remember. Everyone remembers when Elvis performed that.
Jamaica. Ooh, I wanna take it to Bermuda, Bahama, come on, pretty mama, Ilana, Montego, baby. All right, it's time for Timmy's Trivia.
I hope these are better than last week's shit
They were
show.
but I don't think I've gotten a song right the whole month.
I had to go.
What did I
super
say
easy.
for Santa
I
Claus
don't-
is coming to town?
Santa Claus is coming to town.
What year are we again? What year are we?
1989, the year of our Lord.
Okay.
Oh, Amy's like, oh shit.
Yeah,
I might-
Amy's gonna smoke you bitches.
She was 21 here. This was prime clubbing age for Amy.
I might have a chance.
She was the only teenager during this.
Mhm.
No comment.
Ooh.
I was preteen.
Them's
I hadn't
fighting
turned-
words.
No, I was a teen. You're
You were
right. You're
13.
right.
Mm.
No,
She's too nice.
See, I'd have been 10.
We were 10, Timmy. Yeah, she was 13.
I was 4.
God,
Well,
why do you look so
age
much
on
older
there,
than I do?
Terry?
Because you color your hair, Timmy.
I do not. Song number 1, clue number 1. This is a song by Maryland-based group Newmarks. Later made internationally famed by German dance pop non-singing duo Milli Vanilli.
What are you doing?
Who?
Girl, you know it's true. Girl, you know it's true. Ooh, ooh, ooh. I love you.
I'm just in love, girl. True. Girl, you know it's true. You know it's true. I love you.
I'm in love with you, girl.
Girl, you know it's true. I love.
Oh.
My last clue was this. This was the song playing when the world found out they were lip syncing, because you see them on stage and all you see is "Girl, you
Girl,
know
you-
it's girl, you know
you
it's
know
girl, you know it's," and they're sat there going,
Oh.
At
Turn
least
it
that was
off.
better than what Ashley Simpson did.
Oh yeah.
Well, just quit.
To be
She liked
fair, I
that,
think
like, a little
Ashley
bit.
Simpson actually sung her songs in the studio.
But at Saturday Night Live, she just started like
Trying to dance or something.
looking
Yeah,
like a
she ran
robot.
off. Yeah.
I'm out of breath now. Whew.
Look at my sister's titties.
Hmm.
That's what she should have done.
Marge.
All right, everyone's gonna rush to this one. So I prepared three
I
clues.
doubt it.
I doubt we'll get through one.
This is for world famous recording artist Conway Twitty.
There was no Conway Twitty. I wish I would have put it in there.
I know you would have because you're a nerd.
Song number 2, clue number 1. This is a song by American rock band Living Color.
Cult of
Featured-
personality.
Oh.
How could it not be that?
My eyes, what do you see? A cult of personality.
That's
I
what's
know
wrong.
your anger, your jealousies. The everything gonna be. Oh, I'm a cult of personality.
I know how to play this on guitar.
Hero.
That's what I was going to say. Guitar Hero.
Oh, the game on my phone.
It was actually. All right, Amy, this one's for you, babe.
Uh-oh. Okay.
Song number 3, clue number
You didn't
1.
even know she was going to be here.
This is a 1988 single from New Kids on the Block. The lead vocals were
The Right
sung
Stuff.
by Jordan Knight.
You got the right stuff,
Baby.
baby.
Amy now has more points this month than I do.
You got
So that
needed was you.
Hey,
in
it's
my
not
eyes,
You're so right.
wanted was
It
you.
was you.
You made
Hey.
all
Mm.
my dreams come true.
Uh-oh.
You got to do the whole. Mm.
Mm.
I wish Dave would have danced to that one.
I'm out of breath from the last one. Shit.
Killing me.
Hits a clip.
Oh,
Is
I
Timmy
got to get
done?
my paper ready.
Yeah, I only have 3 songs every week.
No. I didn't get one right the whole month.
Do you
Hit the
work on
clip.
this show?
Mm-mm.
Oh, it's time for Dave's Fave. Have you seen it?
You slip her the hot beef injection.
I agree.
Everybody-
The Jackson 5 is the original boy band.
All right, here we go. New rules. No more screaming out the name.
Field of Dreams.
You write it down. After I go through all the words, everybody holds their hands up and then you show me your paper.
Okay.
7 movies this week.
Damn. Okay.
TJ
1989.
leads 9-4.
That's right.
It's the first time in history he's led.
Oh, that's true.
No, I'm giving him an extra point just for that. 10-4.
Do I need to remind you of Ernest Goes to Camp?
All right.
I've never led.
TJ's
I
up
need-
11-4. Movie number A. With a budget of $48 million.
Good.
Oh, I
Good.
know.
Our first movie this week grossed more than $474.2 million at the box office.
Damn it.
It was the top grossing movie of 1989. This is an American action adventure film. In 1938, after his father goes missing while pursuing the Holy Grail, a professor finds himself up against Nazis again to stop them from obtaining its powers. This film stars Harrison Ford and Sean Connery. Hands up.
Hold on, I'm still writing.
Oh shit! I wrote on the wrong one.
You're writing a book.
I did too.
Don't show.
Oh,
Okay.
that ain't it. Damn it.
You're muted, dummy.
Oh, Timmy C, you're first. Read it out.
Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade.
Point for Timmy C.
Damn it.
TJ Stevens.
Indiana Jones and the Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Nope. Amy.
That I put Raiders of the Lost Ark too.
Nope. TWeave.
You didn't give me enough time. I put Indiana Jones and.
We're
That would
Terry
be
a
it.
point.
That would be Indiana Jones.
We're giving Terry a point.
He's
I'm from Alabama. I need extra time.
The hell.
All right, here we go. Movie number B.
Actually, I think you told Terry ahead of time because he's from Alabama. He can't read or write.
He actually wrote that for me.
I knew it.
He has pictures that he gets to look at.
I'll
that
make
is
sure
house
everybody
best.
has enough time this time.
By the way, Sean Connery was the dead giveaway. That was the only one he was in.
Yep.
No.
Movie number B with a budget of $48 million.
The same. That's weird.
Our second movie this week grossed more than $411.6 million at the box office.
It's strange.
This movie's one of Dave's faves. This is an American superhero film. The Dark Knight begins his war on crime with his first major enemy being Jack Napier, a criminal who becomes the clownishly homicidal Joker. This film stars Michael Keaton and Jack Nicholson.
If you don't get this, I'm driving to your house and smacking the piss out of you.
Is that a promise?
Yes.
Terry, you ready?
Sure.
Terry, go.
All I got was Batman. Maybe there's
Batman, TWeave.
That's
Amy.
89.
Batman.
Amy.
Yay.
TJ.
The Dark Knight.
I was supposed to put the Dark Knight.
I put Batman. See.
Oh.
No. Batman.
Everybody gets a point. All right, here we go.
That means I win, by the way. I just clinched it.
It's stupid.
Probably.
Yeah, TJ's got 17 now.
Baypace kids.
Movie number C. Long segment with Roddy Piper, cigarettes, Morton Downey III, and
Yeah, this is why we started at 51 minutes into the show.
here we go. Movie
I
number C
love you.
with a budget of $15 million. Our third movie this week grossed $61.6 million at the box office.
Meh.
This is an American action film.
Okay.
This movie's one of Dave's faves. A bouncer is hired to clean up the baddest honky-tonk in a Missouri town. Armed with a black belt in karate and a degree in philosophy, he sets out to tame the double deuce for its owner. This
Double
movie
deuce.
stars Patrick Swayze and Kelly Lynch. Amy, go.
Roadhouse.
Amy, Roadhouse. Terry,
Roadhouse.
Timmy,
I'm the only one that's going to get the point because I put Roadhouse, the good one.
TJ.
Roadhouse.
Boom. Everybody gets a point.
A cheerleader once told me I look like Patrick Swayze.
She lied.
I'm just saying.
That bitch.
I had
blonde.
hair back then.
She cheered for the School of the Blind in Alabama.
Her eyes are like the wind. One's that way, one's that way.
Yeah.
Was she related to Roy Orbison by chance?
Oh, Jesus. Santa
Possibly.
Claus is coming to town for sure. All right.
She was related to Robert Gibson.
Yeah. Movie number D. Here we go. Everybody better get this or you're immediately disqualified from the show.
We've got the
But
last two.
Batman?
With a budget of $8 million.
Bruce Pritchard's got a nice ass.
Our fourth movie this week grossed $16 million at the box office.
That's a good one.
Lost money.
This movie's one of Dave's faves. That's 3 this week. This is an American action film.
Aren't they all?
Dookie.
Oh heck!
I got
was
it.
A TV network boss pits a wrestler named Zeus against a wrestler named Rip in a wrestling match. This movie stars Hulk Hogan.
Oh, my pen's screwing up.
I'm the only one getting points this time too.
By the way, I was first by like an hour.
And we're waiting on Amy.
Oh my gosh! I could see the poster and everything. What is it called?
Teeny Wangers.
One of the oldest jokes on this show.
Oh, my pen fucked up right in the middle of this.
Oh, yes. Okay.
We should probably give TWeave a point for all the movies. He's wearing a Trash Pandas shirt. So.
Okay.
What's up, Diggs, by the way? All right, here we go. Amy, go.
My ex-wife's maiden.
No
name.
holds
Just
barred.
throwing that out there.
Amy, point. Terry.
No holds barred. Yes, that's what it
TJ.
is.
No holds barred.
Timmy C.
Also, no holds barred, but I put the good one because they're due to remake it.
This not out
TJ
yet.
gets extra points
I'm
for
getting another.
No holds barred. Thank you.
I said Teeny Wangers. Come on.
It's true.
We got to wait on TWeave to get a new pen.
I'm good.
for-
You can
time
go.
for-
I mean, your clues take forever. I had time.
Damn. He gave a clue. I think it was one word.
All right. We're on movie number whatever the fuck. 'cause there's
Five.
a lot of them.
Five.
All right.
Movie
Movie number
number
E.
F.
E.
No, it's E, dummy. Alphabet's hard.
F-U.
With a budget of $18 million. Our fifth movie this week grossed more than $222.7 million at the box office. This is an American science fiction comedy film.
I think I know.
I already know it.
The scientist father of a teenage girl and boy accidentally shrinks his two other neighborhood teens to the size of insects.
I seen it in the theater.
Now the teens must fight diminutive danger as the father searches for them. This film stars Rick Moranis.
Liar.
Oh, I love me some
Liar.
Moranis.
It is not.
Timmy, go.
Honey, I Shrunk the Kids.
TJ,
But it stars
go.
Peter Scolari, not
The
Rick
good
Moranis.
one. Back to the Future.
Amy.
Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. It does too star Rick Moranis.
No, that's Peter Scolari. Don't believe the hype.
It's not Peter Scolari.
Honey,
It
I
is.
Shrunk the Kids.
They look
All
they're
right.
twins.
Oh.
They interchange.
Timmy, by the way, I'm just wanting you to know I'm pounding that ass this month on movies.
Yeah, it's like 42-6.
With Dave scoring, absolutely.
All mine count for 6, just so you know. It's like a touchdown.
All
I
right,
like
here we go.
the other way, Dave, by the way.
Movie number M or whatever we're on. With a budget of $40 million.
G, by the way.
Our sixth movie this week grossed more than $235 million at the box office.
You just did all of 89, didn't you?
Yeah, I did.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Makes a lot more. Like, damn, April was the shit in 89.
He did
This
a lot
isn't
of
a-
June, trust me.
This is an American animated musical fantasy film.
89.
A princess makes a bargain with a fat octopus lady in an attempt to become human and win a princess's love. Stars, cartoons.
It's got crabs. It's got crabs.
Octopus lady. That is tremendous.
Back.
So does that mean she's a fat lady with 8 pusses?
Terry, go.
I don't know.
What?
What?
He's disqualified. Get him out of here.
Amy, go.
Little Mermaid.
TJ, go.
I wasn't a little girl.
Timmy, go.
Little Mermaid, the good one.
All right, here we go.
Oh, last one.
Our last movie this week on a budget of $7.5 million. The cheapest budget of all the movies. Our last movie this week grossed more than $297 million at the box office.
I'm disappointed you didn't sneak 1,000 in there on this week.
This is an American romantic comedy film.
Romantic.
I've been drinking.
Me too.
This is an American romantic comedy film.
89.
This movie's one of Dave's faves, number 4.
Probably starred Matthew Broderick because it's the 80s.
After a single, career-minded woman is left on her own to give birth to the child of a married man, she finds a new romantic chance in a cab driver. Meanwhile, the point of view of the newborn baby is narrated through voiceover.
Got it.
This movie stars Kirstie Alley and John Travolta.
And Bruce Willis's voice.
And Abe Vigoda was grandpa.
Mikey. Terry, go.
Look who's talking.
Amy, go.
Look who's talking.
TJ, go.
Shit, I'm a moron. I put "Look who's talking now" like a jackass. What an idiot I am. Yeah,
22 points. Tennessee wins. Look who's talking. The good one.
That is a good idea, by the way, Antonio.
Oh, that was good. TJ wins on the month 103-4.
Thank you. Feels good. Feels good.
That was a good one. Those were all too easy though. But I mean, I basically did the month or the whole year of 89, and I looked at the top 10 and then just went through and saw what else was out there.
Yeah, if you were
the best ones though is when you focus on the month and then you're like, this one grossed an entire $29 in the theaters. And now we're like, what the hell? What? Is this even a movie?
Well, y'all were watching Little Mermaid, you little sissies. I was watching Fall Guy.
Hey, now.
Is that wrong, Little Mermaid, bitch?
Sissy.
So right now, we are at, we're still, by the way, Robert Downey Sr. is still out here getting fire extinguished. So let's do the star ratings for the matches we've seen so far. The opening of this show was Hercules versus King Haku. We didn't watch it. It was half a star. Rockers versus Twin Towers.
2.5 stars.
Star and 3/4.
No, he was
wrong.
this
ought to ruffle some feathers. We got Sean Mooney with the great Donald Trump.
Who?
What's your
stupid.
time code?
I forgot all about this being at Trump Plaza.
This was
It was
number
2 in a row. The only time
4 was at
WrestleMania.
Trump Plaza too, yeah.
Yeah, only time WrestleMania appeared the same place twice.
You know, Mooney, this is great.
This is the greatest WrestleMania in history.
Greatest WrestleMania of all time.
It's huge.
His hair hasn't changed.
Ted DiBiase versus Bruce Beefcake got a star and 3/4. Anyone want to guess the star rating for Fabulous Rougeaus versus the Bushwhackers, which is right after where we started the show?
Negative 22 stars.
6.
Half a star.
4.5.
Technically, Timmy's the closest. It was -4.
Oh.
So that match was the same quality as Andre the Giant versus Hulk Hogan.
Didn't draw
Correct.
quite as well.
No. Mr. Perfect versus Blue Blazer, which is where we started, 2.25 stars. Tag team title match, Demolition versus Powers of Pain and Mr. Fuji.
2 stars.
Anyone want to guess that star rating?
2 stars.
2 stars?
He probably hates Mr. Fuji. It's probably like -2 stars.
Okay. Is it 2 or -2?
I'm going to go -2.
Timmy's going -2.
I'll go 2.
2?
Is that the one where they do a double turn?
No.
No.
That was before this.
Oh, but okay, never mind.
That was Survivor Series.
1.2.
21 gigawatts!
Dave did a star and a quarter, kind of. TWeave.
I'll go 3. Who knows?
It was a dud.
Oh, it didn't even have a star. It was
And
just,
like I said, the greatest tag match in WrestleMania history.
Got a dud.
Dino Bravo versus Ron Garvin.
Hey, TJ, that should get negative 22 stars.
I was gonna say, is that a dud?
Holy shit. We still have an hour and a half left in this.
Unless Rugged Ronnie Garvin was the ring announcer. And then
he was not.
Oh,
but that was also a dud. Strike Force versus the Brainbusters.
Rick Martel left in the middle of it.
Yeah, it was kind of weird.
Dud.
1.5.
TWeave?
2.
3.
Dave goes 3. 2.5 stars.
Well, he liked sucking off Tully and Arn. So
up next, as we get the Mega Powers Explode recap here. Up next, Jake Roberts versus Andre the Giant. Big John Studd is the referee.
Oh, that was a terrible match. That should have been like 3/4 of a star.
Okay. Well, we'll wait.
It was great psychology.
There's 2 more duds on this match. Or on this
2 more duds on that match. It's a double dud.
I just saw the star rating for the main event, and this Dave's a jack off for that. But there's 2 duds and 1 more negative star match here on this card.
Really?
Yeah.
You would think.
By the way, there's also 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 more matches.
By the way, Dave Meltzer doesn't know his asshole from his elbow.
Apparently, not even just now, not even in '89, he didn't. I think he just had a thing for Andre the Giant and Hulk Hogan. Well, clearly he had a thing for Hulk Hogan, but
well, and he had a thing for Ric Flair, but it was in the other direction. It would be like if Tony Mandridge smuggled those drugs into his pants, but it was filled with Viagra and they shot his balls up.
This is a great point by Hermas. This was not only the highest grossing Mania of all time. I believe it was the highest buy rate. There you go. It was the highest buy rate like WrestleMania 17.
And by the way, it was a small ass venue.
Yeah.
You look at that buildup though. That was the buildup for this match. It actually goes with what we saw with the Bloodline and just.
I
Cody
disagree.
Rhodes.
I think this was better than the Bloodline.
Oh no, I just mean longevity. I don't mean like we're so used to just like, well, we got to get to this next pay-per-view, so we're going to have a program for 3 weeks. I just meant the longevity, not so much. No, this is definitely my favorite.
This was the Saturday night's main event where Akeem almost died because he fell through the ropes.
Not Saturday night. It was just the main event.
It just said Saturday night's main event, douche.
It's wrong.
All right.
Oh, that one. Yes. That was not where Hakeem fell through.
This was Superstars. She learned how to read.
The Saturday, that's the main event right there. There you go.
Okay, so this was the one Hakeem fell through the ropes.
Bless. Poor little man. Would you all like to do a couple Amy asks while we're waiting?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Wow.
Let's do it.
It's
I brought my box.
Wow.
Who's first?
We had to.
Who's first in Amy's box?
Listen.
Oh,
is this
Lord.
Central Park again?
Oh my God, I forgot. Y'all, this is like talking to Dave and Justin.
When there's 4 guys and a lady, a Southern lady, in a room and she goes, I brought my box, the next words cannot be who gets to go first.
To be fair, she's not a Southern lady. She's north of 3 of us. So
Allison might have a point here.
Who's first in Amy's box?
No.
No. That'll be a shirt for us. Not for sale.
That's Mr. Amy. He was first.
That's very true. Yes. If y'all if you ever want me to be able to come back and hang with y'all, it's always Mr. Amy.
That's correct. I've met him. He's a wonderful man.
He is. All right.
I mean, he's no Arn Anderson, but
no, he's not Arn Anderson, and he knows it. So.
I don't get to see Amy very often, even though we only live 20 miles apart. But I get to talk to her a lot because her daughter comes to my store a lot, and I talk to her through car phone.
Exactly. And I'm usually talking to her.
Daughter Amy is always talking to mom.
Wait, what car do you have that has a car phone?
The Bluetooth, man.
Does she have a 91 Mustang? Like what
Yes.
car does she have? That's
She has a
car phone?
91 Mustang.
It's a bag phone. It's not even a real car phone. Poor ass.
Oh, poor ass.
All right, first one. Would you rather be invisible or be able to read minds?
Invisible. You know how many titties you can see if you're invisible?
Read
But
minds.
That goes positive and negative though, Dave. because you
Read
see all
minds.
of them.
Because if you can read minds, you can feel the titties that you could also.
Wait, no,
see, so-
she didn't say X-ray vision. She said invisible.
Yeah,
Invisible.
yeah. But if you can read minds, you're gonna know who wants to show you titties. So just like, oh, hey,
Every girl Tim sees to be like, he'll be reading her mind. She'll be like, this jackass with the stupid fucking hair.
just
Look at his fingers. I'm gonna
just
go.
see me walking around all day going, damn it!
His fingers are ribbed. His fingers are ribbed for my pleasure. But he's ugly.
It'd be like having foreplay with a socket wrench. I'm gonna go.
That is a t-shirt. Foreplay with a socket wrench.
I'm going invisible also because I could just walk around nude all day long.
Nope, I want to read minds.
Terry, what'd you say?
I think read minds. I could come up with some creative ways to make some money with that.
You can go backstage at WrestleMania. All kinds.
Play a lot of
stuff.
poker.
Talk to the Porter brothers.
I can be
and
like,
see
I was
who's
in the
not
ring
won
when
this
Cody
before.
beat Roman.
That was right there.
All right. How about this? What is something you've witnessed that you wish you could see again?
Well, that was just one time. I banned
Let me get rid
That
of
is
the
a
first
loaded
few thoughts.
question.
You mean like for nostalgia purposes?
It just it can be. It just says, what is something you witnessed that you wish you could see again? However
could
you
go-
take the question.
If I go back and do it live again, it'd be WrestleMania 19.
Mm-hmm.
I ain't trying to
there.
see sweaty dudes again.
We're going to do it in September though, Dave.
Look, we're talking about boobies here.
We're not.
We're not.
Yeah,
talking
because
about
I
boobies.
saw this incredible pair of boobies one time.
But she's in your house. You can see him anytime you want, literally.
I can't see him right this second. She's
That's
downstairs.
true. I mean, I'm sure if
Oh, your son's
Yeah.
birth. Gross. I saw my kid being born. I about throwed up.
I watched both my kids.
So
I didn't-
Allison Faye just said, I really hope we could try to drive a car through my vagina again, because that would be fun. What?
I'd really try to squeeze out a toaster oven one more time.
Yeah.
I think she just wants to see it, not experience it again.
Oh, that makes more sense.
I mean, they have videotape for that.
I didn't record my wife giving birth to either of my children.
No. I did
There's
not
no
want
way people record that.
My wife was like, "Hey, can you put this on Snapchat?" I'm like, "No, I'm not." I think people would watch that. That didn't happen, by the way. Don't tweet at my wife. She didn't do that.
I'm gonna be like, Jamie.
We're gonna make some
Allison.
reels.
I read that
Oh.
as more glory for a minute.
Oh,
That is
I also did. Here
rough.
comes Beard. Here comes Big John Stud in a referee.
Beard
shirt.
John
And
Stud.
Beard Johnson.
Rest in
Okay.
peace.
What match is he reffing?
Andre the
Andre
Giant
versus
versus Jake
Jake.
Roberts.
Oh, I thought we already went to that match.
We did.
No,
We already
just
seen it.
talked about it. Yeah.
Can we fast forward this match?
No.
No. We're talking
Jake
about
almost
where
threw up.
I would want to see something again.
Yeah.
It was a bratwurst at McDonald's.
Mm.
That was a good one. I was at the first Bengals playoff win in 31 years. The end of that game was pretty special. I'd like to go back to
Cool.
that. I'd
Oh,
like
you're-
to,
you're-
change my companion there, but
To
That
be
was
such a
pretty
fan of a
special.
loser franchise.
You're what was I gonna say? I forgot.
on the Patreon, I'll divulge the details of that game and why
You had
it
sex
was so
afterwards.
interesting. And
We have YouTube.
You did. You texted me.
I did, but there was a reason.
That's also on YouTube. Wait, there's a
It's
reason
not
we had
on YouTube.
sex?
Yeah, there was.
Is
She was drunk.
that it?
One of them.
Not exactly.
I was like, I hope there was a bet or something involved. Or was she so drunk she thought you were
All right.
someone else?
Patreon exclusive. Go away.
Okay. I forgot I was going to say something.
You wore a Joe Burrow mask.
Anthony Munoz.
And
With
I
those
can
fin-
read minds.
with those fingers. You had to have been Anthony Munoz.
The fingers.
Oh my God, that was good. All right, you
I
ready
was
for
left tackle for 41 years.
what is something unique about your family?
We live in Alabama.
Nope.
That's not unique.
Not even on this show is it unique.
My wife looks good in thongs.
Probably also not unique.
Weirdly, it's not unique because I also look good in thongs.
Oh, I
can
could just
attest
see
to
your
that.
butt hair in a thong. Oh,
It's weird that you didn't say your wife did, but like I.
my wife thinks I look good in thongs.
My wife's not so into thongs anymore. She used
Now
to.
that would be unique. No one else thinks you look good in thongs.
She does. I don't own
Hey.
a thong. I got.
She
the
likes
thong
it
with
when
the
you're in a
elephant trunk
banana
the front.
hammock.
Yeah.
My
Makes
wife
fun of
actually had her thong on backwards yesterday. Funny story. We'll have her come up and tell it here shortly.
So was she trying to pick up the penny while she's walking around the yard?
She was at work and she's like, I am so uncomfortable. What's going on here?
Oh, that's great. What is unique about my family? Where's the sad part? I've been about this the entire time and I can't. Oh, my mother and I have both done stand-up comedy, not together. That would be weird, but we've both done it.
Really?
Yeah.
When did your mother do stand up?
Early 90s. She got fairly big locally.
Uh-huh.
And then
she ate a lot.
Not literally, you fuck. So she would do the funny bones around here when that was still a thing.
Mm-hmm.
And
What was his name?
Shut up. So she actually got asked to MC a few. And that sounds like not a big deal, but it's actually a fairly big honor to be an amateur stand-up comedian and host an open mic. And then she got divorced from my dad in 94 at the end of that. So
she lost the material.
I never looked at it that way, but I mean,
And the funny bone.
She just had to watch me and my sister all the time now.
I gotcha. Do you think you and your mom have the same sense of humor?
No.
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 So the comedy's completely different.
What's fun though is, so my dad recorded one of her sets from like 91 or 92 that she did, and I watched it, and it was funny. But hers was like family comedy. And the first time I ever did, and it wasn't intentional, the first time I ever did stand up, I did a marriage joke, and my wife was there. And for everyone that it's like cringing, it was a true story. So it's not like I was making shit up. I mean, I made some stuff up, but I'm not going to tell the audience which part it was.
Gotcha. Tim,
I
what's
saw the
unique
video
about
of it.
your
I might
family?
put it on Patreon one day.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
I got nothing that's unique. I mean,
Your finger.
Isn't your grandma English though? I mean, like,
Spotty.
there's lots of English people.
no, but I'm just saying. Well, if you look at the five of us, my grandmother's from Fancy Farm, so
That could be your claim. Everyone in my family is from Fancy Farm, and we
Most
started
of them,
as
yeah.
related.
My great grandparents on my mother's side are from Denmark.
So I did my, what's that thing called? The family
23 and
tree.
me.
Well, that,
Ancestry.com.
but I did Ancestry.com too.
Uh-huh.
My family goes back to royalty.
Of what country?
There's a lot of Irish,
Namibia.
and English, and there's even some Russian czars.
We're all from that Longshanks guy. Every one of us.
Longshanks.
Yeah.
No, I've read the Bible. We're all from Adam.
Abel's my cousin.
Abel's your cousin?
Cain was mine.
Dang, dog. We
I
third
get the
cousins.
Cain thing.
Terry, what's unique about your family?
Only thing I could think of that's unique is my Meemaw looked like Madeline Albright.
My Meemaw look like. That's also a T-shirt.
What's
my
a Meemaw?
My
Grandma.
Meemaw
What's
look
a
like
Meemaw?
Madeline
Grandma.
Albright.
I got a few more Meemaw stories, but we can save those for later.
That is very unique.
Did
I
she
think that was
die
all
doing
great.
heroin?
I like that.
She wrecked her vet.
Yes, she did.
Like that
She wrecked her-
97-year-old.
She wrecked her speedboat on land. She was in that car chase in Bad Boys 2. She was the one in the boat.
By the way, how many teeth did Andre have in his head?
His teeth are so little.
81 actually is the number. He's a lizard.
That dude must have been rich as shit when the Tooth Fairy came.
Which time?
All them times, because you lose all of them.
After 42 times, the Tooth Fairy stops coming.
Yeah, she actually barred the door from barred the window from the outside.
By the way, odd thing for Jake here to be the one that has to create the motion in the match.
Why is that odd?
Because
He did it all the
normally
time.
he's normally a very he's the slow, methodical mover. Like if you try that with Andre, it looks like slugs laying down in salt.
0 drop kicks in this match.
It's just great because literally everyone in the ring right now, Andre hates.
Even Jake?
Yeah, he did not like Jake.
I don't think he hated Jake. I thought
He
it was
did.
Macho Man he really hated.
He also hated Macho Man.
But he was such a good person, but he hated everything.
Sure. Everyone says gentle giant, just a sweetheart of a man, but literally every story I've ever read about Andre is he's a giant dick. Bullies people.
Well, I'm
Maybe
sure he had a
big
giant
and
dick.
unhappy and in pain. I'd be a giant dick too.
I'm not arguing it, but let's also don't sugarcoat in the stories.
I mean,
Right?
I didn't have to hang out with him, so I don't give a shit.
That's true. Made Big John and Stud leave the territory. Made Bam Bam leave the territory. Just beat
Got the bigger
shit out
size of
Macho Man
the
Randy Savage.
Andre.
Like, I wonder what would have happened if somebody like The Undertaker had come in.
He would have treated him like shit.
I don't
Well,
think
they
somebody
kinda
like The
did. They
Undertaker
crossed
take it,
paths.
though. No, they didn't really. He was out. He was there for WrestleMania 7, but he was already on crutches by then. He wasn't going to fuck with The Undertaker then. Because by every account, The Undertaker's really not one to be fucked with.
That is what I've heard.
I'd fuck with him.
No, you wouldn't.
Dude, I've heard stories of The Undertaker at Mugs and Jugs, the bar in Clearwater. He literally went to the bar to get a pitcher of beer, and some guy started hassling him. And he knocked out 2 guys in 2 straight punches while holding a mug or a pitcher of beer and didn't spill a drop.
That's talent. You gotta keep that heart rate down.
That's legend.
And
I mean, think he really didn't spill a drop.
I met The Undertaker.
Not a drop.
I met The Undertaker at a bowling alley and had front row seats at Monday Night Raw. And that son of a bitch is every bit of 3 foot wide. He was massive. Him holding a bowling, he was bowling with Crush. And he's holding a bowling ball, and it looks like I'm holding a softball. I mean, Andre was big, but in terms of The Undertaker, he was just heavier. Not that much bigger than The Undertaker.
I mean, height
Because
wise.
by all accounts, Andre's only 7 feet tall here.
Right.
Undertaker 6'10".
Well, we started at like 7'2". You start to shrink as you get older.
Yeah. But this Andre right here that bullied all these people, I'd be willing to bet Mark Calloway would destroy. Same with the Big Show.
Literally every story I've ever heard is Andre was pissed. There was not a lot you could do about it.
By the way, the camera angle you just saw, the WrestleMania ring skirts, they literally just took the eye off for WrestleMania 5.
Yeah. I saw that too. I just wasn't going to say anything.
Oh, why do you keep showing it? Stop that.
I mean, how big of a wuss was Big John Studd? If I'm that big and there's somebody that size that's bullying me, I'm going to put my foot down. That's kind of my take on Mick Foley. Mick Foley was so pissed at The Rock for doing what he did. Why didn't he do something about it?
Royal Rumble?
Yeah.
Probably because he thought he was in another place.
At some point in time, he came back around.
That's true.
And I'll try and hit you with a Buick if I can't get you with my hands.
But also, to be fair to The Rock, Mick kind of called for it.
Well, Mick said that Rock took liberties and he wasn't happy about it.
Sure.
I don't know. A lot of these guys back then, these guys are supposed to be like legit badasses.
Mm.
Oh, there's Ted DiBiase.
Oh, I'm ahead of y'all. How did I do that?
Yeah, me too.
Jake's now leaving the ring, running after DiBiase.
Time code. We are at. Oh shit! I just pressed pause. 2/28/06/07/08/09.
012, 013, 014.
I accidentally pressed pause when I touched I'm watching on my phone because my web browser's being a douche.
Now Andre's killing Big John Studd again. Big John Studd won the Royal Rumble here this year and is reffing a match at WrestleMania. Make it make sense. Get your Ram Network t-shirts.
I guess that's the politics, that's what they talk about. Like, probably, even though you may have wanted to do something to Andre or whatever, you may have not been able to, afraid you're going to lose your spot.
I don't think Big John Studd wrestled a whole lot after this.
He didn't. He was gone by SummerSlam.
Yeah, he was pretty much done.
They didn't know what they had yet with the Royal Rumble at this point. It was just new.
Yeah, it was just the second one.
It really is a shame we essentially lost the mind of Jake Roberts for the late 90s and all of the 2000s because, man, the things he could have done.
Oh, Jandie's up here. I just heard the dryer shut.
As a road agent, is what, like a producer is what I mean. And for younger guys, he could have done so much.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Jake's still in my top 7, I'd say. Probably because he looks like my dad. Minus the steak. My dad hates snakes. Actually, Jake hates snakes. I found out later in life.
Yeah.
Why did you pick that gimmick?
I think it was picked for him. I think I remember they were talking about
rhymed with Jake.
He could have been Jake the Rake.
Or Jake the Bake, being a baker.
Yeah, because he was always baked out of his mind.
Yeah, coming to the ring with delicious pastries.
That Bilbo guy they hired, he just turned his gimmick down.
Bilbo Baggins?
There's Sherry.
Oh, that would have been a good one. Did anybody Did anybody watch the Dark Side or the Dark Side of the Ring on her last night by chance?
I have not, but I'm going to.
I did not.
I'm going to. I'm like you. I am going to. I'm at this hotel. I did not have that channel, or I would have watched it last night. But we taped it, so I think I think they've been very good. The Dark Side of the Rings. I've been thoroughly enjoyed them this time around. But I've learned a lot. I can't wait to see hers.
She was just about 10 years too soon.
Another one that the drugs got a hold of them.
Oh, by the way, anyone want to guess the star rating for Jake Roberts and Andre?
-1.
Dud.
Half a star.
-3 stars.
Dang.
So up next,
we did better than he did with Hogan. Then so
the next match, Hart Foundation versus the Rhythm and Blues. Before Greg Valentine dyed his hair.
Yeah, they were better when Valentine had dark hair.
By the way, I watched an old school episode from.
We watched it together, you idiot.
No, we lost Timmy to Kentucky Shitternet.
1970, like 7 or something.
Why are you watching that on purpose on your own free time?
Because I like wrestling.
We did 1975. Remember, he beat the guy with the underwear on his face.
El Olympico.
I remember y'all talking about that one.
This may have been before that even, but I was like, God damn, Greg Valentine was old.
Yeah, I don't know if you remember the Nitro where the Giant defended the World Heavyweight title against Greg the Hammer Valentine in 96. He was already like 49.
By the way, he looked the exact same throughout his entire career.
He did. He never still.
Yes.
72 to 2026. He's going to look the same. By the way, we now have the worst heart in here.
Jim Neidhart.
And Bret Hart.
That's rude.
Bret Hart sucks.
You suck.
Yeah, he's terrible.
You say it a lot. It's not a hot take.
Honky
I'd
Tonk
rather
Man.
I'd rather watch El Olympico with his dirty panties on his head wrestle a mop than Bret Hart wrestle anybody.
Honky Tonk Man is the best performer in this ring right now.
Yes.
Absolutely.
He's got Bret all shook up.
I will be right back.
He didn't sing that. Elvis did.
By the way, Honky Tonk Man also a better singer than Elvis.
All right, I'm gonna have Jandie come up here and join y'all.
What are you
gonna
gonna do?
I'm gonna wash dishes.
What?
Yeah, she cooked dinner. I gotta go help her.
Pussy. Let me know when she gets here. I'll add her back.
Bret Hart comes in the ring and everybody.
Or he's terrible, not she. Sorry, Jandie. She's great. He's terrible.
She hasn't heard you yet, but I'm going to tell her when she gets here. Hello, Jandie. Welcome to the show. Timmy called you terrible.
She's a great cook unless my daughter helps her.
Mm.
Look at that shitty drop kick he just threw. Terrible.
Hey, TV. What's your take on banana bread?
Saltier the better.
It's good. I mean, what kind of take you looking for?
How about banana bread with 9 cups of salt?
Probably less good.
So backstory. Me and Carson went to stay with Dave and his family.
I was there too.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
And my daughter was making banana bread with Jandie and the girls, and just like we need to add salt. So Carson grabs which I still don't know why they had like a whole thing of salt out. But
yeah, blame it on the
Carson
cook.
grabs
What a douche.
like a cup of salt and just dumps in the banana.
It's your fault it happened.
Why is it my fault? Oh.
No, that's what you're saying. It's your fault. And why'd you have a whole thing of sugar?
I mean,
or salt?
Add more
grind
bananas.
the salt like at a steakhouse.
That's. Do they grind salt at a steakhouse?
Absolutely.
Okay.
I've been to ones where you have to grind your own salt. And I always tell the waiter, like, hey, I'm not on the clock. How about you go ahead and do up the salt for me?
Oh.
I don't say that. That'd be terrible if I said that.
Hi.
She's being all pissy, so fuck it.
Uh-oh. Well, then I'm really glad she's not showing up.
Did she hear Timmy call her terrible a minute ago?
No.
I meant to call you terrible, by the way.
But old Aunt Flo's getting ready to hit, so it's fucking
TMI.
Yeah. And she's always a pleasure to be around that week.
Patreon exclusive.
Just have her carry around a ring game the entire time.
A ring game.
Fuck you, Dave.
She angers me sometimes.
That's life, you know?
No, that's live,
I often think about like how many times a day do I upset my wife? It's got to be at least 10,
Oh, my wife's eyes haven't rolled out of her fucking head.
I have this many times a day I upset my wife.
There you go.
There was one time we were having a conversation about how I have a tendency to fly off the handle a few times. And I don't
she got mad because I started yelling at her.
And I don't yell and I'm not a yeller or a screamer.
I am.
I just get like 300% sarcastic. That's what I am. And I start like turning around on you. And she goes, after I cooled down, I think it might have been the next day. She was like, I really don't like how you talk to me sometimes. And I looked at her and I said, listen, I can be a moody bitch sometimes, and I understand that. And I'm sorry ahead of time, but it's gonna happen. Just know
I'm
that.
sorry ahead of time.
I'm not moody.
No, your mood's always shit.
See?
What's your mood? Terrible.
I'm steady.
Do you guys know you have to have a fucking driver's license to drive a boat in Alabama?
Yeah.
I've just
Do
been out there
not
breaking
in
the
other
fucking law.
states?
Apparently,
I've
TWeave
never had a
did that.
boating license in my life.
Oh, you have to get a separate boating license?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, what the fuck?
Never in my life have I had one. And the hell, I got a new boat. I've been out there just fucking Jack Sparrow in that bitch. No registration, no. I've been waiting for my registration to come in the mail. They're like, no, you got to take it up to the DM. What the fuck? I just bought it from a dealership.
Sparrow in that bitch, she just said.
Oh, well. You guys better be glad I love you because I was invited to a concert tonight.
What was the
What
concert?
Walker Wheeler Jr.
How does
I'm
Matt
glad-
Cassio feel about that?
He was the one that invited me
And
We
also, why
knew.
is he not here?
because he's at Walker Wheeler Jr.
This is bullshit.
Why is Walker Wheeler Jr. not here? Who the fuck is Walker Wheeler Jr.?
So he
by
sings
the
a
way?
he sings a song. Here's the song.
He's the
A
son of
song. He sings
Walker
one
Wheeler
song.
Sr.
He sings.
One
he's,
song.
he's kind of a comedian singer.
I've heard.
Ready?
I've heard- he's great.
Here's the
Oh,
song.
that guy. Okay.
She's a cunt. Dream you, Zick fan. She loves dicks. E-cups filled up with beer. Right. Timmy would like him.
He's not good. No.
He's fantastic.
Yeah,
By the way,
he's
here's
awesome.
the artwork JD did for us for our 1975 show with Timmy with dirty panties on his head. We talked
I
about
wish
the
it-
beginning
We should
of
have put the
Windows.
yellow in the front. The brown goes in the back.
No, but see that I think that's the joke is you're also wearing it on your head and backward.
Yeah.
Just it's you. I don't know if I've ever watched WrestleMania 5 without watching it more than I have tonight.
This is one of the greatest WrestleManias of all time.
I
Probably the
love this
greatest
WrestleMania. I
Yeah.
love this WrestleMania.
Look at the honky tonk man selling.
I just
Four
have not
sucked.
paid attention at all.
5 was good. 6 was good till Ultimate Warrior beat
Did
Hogan.
you say 4 sucked?
4 sucked.
Oh, fuck off.
7 was epic.
I loved 4.
7
was
was
trash.
epic.
9 was good. 10.
What? You just
7
said 8 was
great.
trash, but 9 was good.
Yes, 8 was trash.
I
9
love
was good.
WrestleMania 9.
Mhm.
The one at
love
Caesar's
9
Palace,
also.
fantastic.
Oh, Bret
11,
Hart gets
horrible.
The megaphone. 1,
12,
2,
horrible.
3. Oh, Hart Foundation gets.
That's the only way Bret Hart's going to beat the honky tonk man. Only
Star
way.
rating. Star rating. Go.
1.
Well, Bret Hart was in it. It wasn't a dud. I'll give it like 1.25 stars.
2.5.
2 1/4.
Because Bret Hart carried this match, and everyone
I don't-
else sucked.
I don't have the write-ups. I just have the ratings.
Those elbows that were dropped from the honky tonk man got that extra point.
Here is the net. By the way, he just hit him right in the titty with that megaphone. Here is the next match for the WWF Intercontinental Championship. One of my favorite Intercontinental title matches because the Ultimate Warrior is getting ready to drop it to Ravishing Rick Rude.
Bobby Heenan holds the leg. Love it.
I love this match, and it has nothing to do with the Warrior.
Stop it. Turn that shit off.
I'm getting older, and
We're
I
definitely
fear
getting blocked on YouTube.
that my time has passed. I need a count
Hey, Efren just mentioned the show we're going to have.
and John need cash.
Oh, when
All these young drunk
the
bachelorettes. Man, I've had it up.
when Dave's done serenading us, you should promote that new show we're getting ready to do.
Oh, shit, I'm going to have to actually record some at some point.
Oh, here. There. We have that power.
Yeah, so we're going to do a show called I Was There. It's going to be watch alongs, kind of like what we're doing now. But it's going to be stuff that people were actually at, and it's not going to have any weird ass country music songs while we're on it.
I'm sorry, T. I made you to start over.
For example, we're going to watch along at some point of Nitro from the Georgia Dome, not that one, but the one 6 months later, July 5th, 1999, because I was in attendance for that
shitty
piece of
one.
shit. Yes.
Great. Oh, you have the Goldberg hug one? Nope. Wasn't at that one.
Next year.
I was at Buff Bagwell versus Van Hammer. That was one I was at.
We can watch Dynasty from a couple weeks ago or whatever the Dynamite.
I have the
Oh, that's
Iron
right,
Man
right.
of WrestleManias on my list.
So I was at 19, as I mentioned before.
I was at 24. It was terrible.
And I've been to bigger moment shows. I was at the Monday Night Raw that ended up being the Paul Bearer Memorial Show, and CM Punk stole the urn at that Raw. And then I was at the Rampage where CM Punk debuted on AEW.
And you couldn't see anything.
And I couldn't see anything because
you're too nice.
Wouldn't put his sign down. And
you literally had a folding steel chair right there.
And he had his son with him, and I wasn't going to beat his ass in front of his 6-year-old.
So that'll learn him.
That'll learn him. Put your fucking sign down.
I would have taken that sign and ripped it to shreds.
Yeah, by the way, if you I don't want to be that guy, but if you go to a wrestling show and you're in the front and you bring a sign, nobody cares. Put your sign down. People are trying to watch
I like the signs, but people don't want to see that shit from the back. He was at Over the Edge 99. That was
that's
Owen.
Yeah.
I have never watched that show, and I'm never going to watch that show.
I saw it. I had it on DVD. I bought it off eBay. It was like a burned copy. Oh, here's Grumpalotopus.
I'm not grumpy. You're grumpy.
Mm.
You throw a fucking fit.
Jandie,
by the way, Dave, go do dishes.
Yeah,
I'd like to hang out with Jandie.
I offered. You go do dishes. We're gonna sit here. We're gonna talk to you. I need the story.
He couldn't even give me a hot second. He had to get all huffy and puffy and.
I offered, and she was being shitty.
Sex with Dave is literally called a hot second.
You beat me to it.
Fuck you up, bro.
I'm gonna fight you.
Get out of the chair. Let her sit down.
Leave. No one wants to talk to you.
What
we gotta do this too.
Talking about?
Well,
you being shitty. Oh.
Yeah, we got to show.
Story about putting your underwear on backwards yesterday. So I told him about. So you got to tell him.
No, we need the. We'll get to that. Well, we need the real story of what just transpired.
Go ahead, tell him.
Hold on. He was yapping. I couldn't hear you. I couldn't hear you because he was yapping at me. Okay, ask me a question again. I need to shower. I'm a hot mess, people.
We're just gonna.
You do need to shower.
I do need to shower. I worked out and I have not showered yet. That's what I was going to next. Anyway, sorry. Ask me the question. What are we talking about?
But before we get to the embarrassing part of yesterday, we need the full story of what just happened. I need the real story. I'm Barbara Walters. This is 60 Minutes. What just happened?
Your ears look weird.
What? My ears? How do your ears look weird, babe? I hate these things.
Will you go away, Dave?
I know he's distracting today.
Right. Don't watch this stuff.
I was downstairs at the sink in the middle of doing the dishes. I was almost done, and he comes down. He's like, "Go get on the podcast," and he hands me an earbud. And I said, "I will. Give me a minute." And he got all huffy and puffy about it. And then he tried to hand me one, and I had a wet hand. And I said no. And then he threw a fit and came running upstairs and slammed the door and stomped all the way up. I'm telling the truth. They all probably heard you.
Fucking liar.
Dave is real good about muting himself when he knows shit's about to go down.
I
also just saw his beehole.
No!
He is something else today. He's PMSing, y'all. I'm pretty sure.
He blamed it on you. He said you were the one PMSing.
I wasn't gonna.
Well, our cycles must be synced. I don't know what to tell you.
I wasn't, in a military term, I wasn't going to be a blue falcon like Timmy just was. I wasn't going to throw my compadre under the bus, but he did. So, yeah.
I'm not surprised. He didn't get his way. He threw a little temper tantrum, stomped all the way up here because I was trying to finish up the dishes. Anyways.
To be fair, he was going down to do the dishes.
He did say that.
Oh, I wasn't upset with him. He just needed a little bit of patience. I had wet hands and I was like, I had a couple of dishes in my hand. I was trying to get to the dishwasher.
You've met him. You know patience, not one of his virtues.
That is very true. We keep trying, though.
The first show I ever went with Dave, I thought we were going to have to fight all of Section 113. So
that's why sometimes I don't like to go with shows with Dave because it makes me very nervous.
So fun story. That is legit.
She's not talking wrestling. She's like, I don't like to go to the ballet because
that's legitimately why we started doing the Sweet Life, was to get Dave out of the crowd.
Yes. I think I started to tell you guys one of the last times I was on here. We went to Kane Brown this past year, and I thought he was going to kill the teenagers next to us. Like, the dad had to push the kids over, and he came and sat over next to us, and I'm like, the dads are going to fight. Like,
I kind of feel Dave on that one, though. I don't even know what they were doing, and I'm with Dave.
Oh, it was bad, but still, like, anyways, yeah.
Like but see, Dave gets so angry and aggressive. Dave doesn't realize you just have to give him just like, yay, song's over, wham, and they won't realize, like, oh, what happened? He's down. Are you okay? What happened to the kid? Oh my goodness.
You mean he's not subtle?
No, he's not. He's very obvious with things.
He's the opposite of subtle.
Yeah.
So yesterday, embarrassing story. That's next.
Tell us about the backwards thong.
I forgot what it was about. Oh.
So I don't know why, but I don't know if I like think about other things while I'm getting ready or what the heck that I'm doing, but it is not uncommon for me to just I just put my underwear on and don't pay any attention. Don't like look at the front, the back, the inside, outside. And it is not uncommon for it to be inside out. And Dave will be like, he'll point it out at some point that it's inside out. Okay.
I've done that.
Yeah. I do it far more frequently than I should. I don't even know how it's possible. But anyways, for the first time though, yesterday.
Right, I get inside out, but backwards thong?
Right. So, I mean, now in my defense, this thong is like, it is, loose isn't the right word, but it's like, it's not super tight and it's got like scallops on it. So it's like a more loose fit. I don't know how to describe it. Anyways, it's not like, it doesn't have, it's
or like seared scallops or
no, like, you know, this, it doesn't
Jay
have
has
the
the lobster on his.
No, it's seamless.
Timmy's got the lobster
bit.
It's seamless. Okay. So it's like not tight. That's what it is. It's like seamless.
Right.
Anyways.
I'm with you.
How do you
so I like pull some
seams?
What?
How do you get like crustacean on it without seams?
It's like the edges are scallops like that, but they don't have seams in them. So they're like
just
like
cut.
scalloped potatoes, not
correct.
The
they're like
animal.
scalloped cut, not designed. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Anyways, I'm rushing in the morning. I got done working out. I rinsed off quick. I go throw my underwear on. I throw my clothes on, and I did think my underwear felt a little uncomfortable, but I was in a hurry and didn't think anything of it. So the first time,
why is my pussy hanging out? What the fuck?
I didn't look. Okay, I did not look at myself, people. I just put pants on and went to work. So,
by the way, if I put my thong on backwards, I know when my dick's just flopping in the wind.
Well, I guess I'm thankful I'm not a guy.
Yeah, thongs are not favorable when you're a man. Putting on backwards, like, man. I don't remember both my nuts hanging. I don't remember both my nuts hanging out of this thing. What's that about? I'm splitting the seam here.
So anyways, I go to the bathroom because I had to go to the bathroom, and I'm like, oh, well, this explains a lot. So then I'm like, well, crap, is there anybody else in the bathroom? Like, I literally have to take my pants off and switch my underwear around, and like, how embarrassing if somebody comes in to see.
Did you hang your pants up on the back of the door?
They don't have doors on the stalls?
No,
Not
they
in
do,
Alabama.
but like, I mean, people don't typically take their pants. Like, I legit had to take my shoes off. I had to take my pants off. I had it was a whole thing. It wasn't like I had a dress on that day. So needless to say, I did it very fast. Tried not to touch the, ground with my feet and all of that jazz.
Stand on your shoes. I've done that.
I did. I stood on my shoes.
Worse.
I appreciate.
So I had to I couldn't be that.
Feet are what you're trying to protect.
Yes. I don't want any
drug the bottom of that thong across the bathroom floor, but my feet were clean.
Nothing touched the floor, okay? Except for the bottom of my shoes. I was very careful.
I
Quick.
changed him like I was jumping rope.
Yeah.
I had this talk with a guy I work with at the steel mill. It's a steel mill. It's gross. So we have a shower, locker room facilities. I don't use them. I just get changed at my desk like a normal person. So he was telling me that he's telling me the story of a locker room encounter, which there's a lot of guys still in our mill that have started. Our mill opened in 1990. A lot of that original crew is still there. Like they're in the middle of retiring, but a lot of them are still there. And they're at the age where public nudity in a locker room is just Wednesday. Like they just walk around flopping about, slamming locker doors shut. They don't care.
They've reached the age of confidence.
Yeah, they don't give a shit anymore at all. And they'll, put a foot up on the bench and talk to you about, hey, the acorns are starting to drop. Like, I see that. Thank you. And so he was telling me, like, he was walking out of the shower, going to his locker, and he's like, so I'm barefoot. I got my towel on. Tells me the whole story about this guy.
You didn't have shower shoes?
Can we
talk about that?
A guy's just hanging dong like 3 lockers down from his. And I go, hold on, timeout. And he goes, you're going to ask for a name. And I said, no. Did you just tell me you raw dogged barefoot through the entire locker room?
Yeah, what the fuck?
And he goes, yeah. I'm like, did you immediately cut your feet off? I don't understand how this is an acceptable scenario to what you just told me. I go, I don't care if he made you a balloon animal out of it. That is more acceptable than walking barefoot through a locker room with 500 employees. What are you doing? You know what I really enjoy? Athlete's foot. Like, stop it. Flip-flops.
Well, that's Jandie dragging her backwards thong across the floor in a public bathroom.
Timmy, you did not listen to the story because that was never said. You just made that up. Like you're just making things up now.
He doesn't listen.
That's what I do.
You were probably terrible at that game. Remember did you ever play that telephone game when you were young? You had to like whisper to the next person. You were probably
I was
terrible.
never young. I was always old.
Well, you were probably terrible at that then too.
When Timmy started going to school, it was still in a barn and only Little House on the Prairie style.
By the way,
we're gonna learn math.
You need more salt in your banana bread.
Do I now? We've tried that once. It didn't turn out all that great.
That will never not be funny.
That's the interesting fact about my family. We had 2 cups of salt to banana bread.
I have never seen a dessert pastry and a good day faster than that one. It was over. The rest of the weekend was just shot.
I do appreciate that Jandie was like, I'm still going to try to make it. It's a good plan.
How much salt did she put in it? Jandie's like, this much salt.
It was still bad even after I scooped out like a cup of salt.
I just made saltpeter in the bathroom.
You need like maybe a half a teaspoon. I'm pretty sure we had like 2 cups of salt.
To be fair, Dave actually tasted it.
We did.
I was like, nope, not gonna do that.
We just got out of winter, and I don't like chapped lips, so I'm not gonna have any of that banana bread. Thank you. I'm gonna skip out. So we had a question earlier. It's very interesting. All of us answered wrong, I'm sure, because we're men. So I'm going to ask you, if you could go back and revisit one thing in your life, what would it be?
She'd divorce Dave.
No pressure. Take your time.
She's like, when I said I do, I'd have probably added a couple letters and a hyphen.
You know Dave's going to listen to this at some point. You know that, right?
Oh, yeah.
And no, I meant Timmy. And you all don't live that far away anymore.
That's true. He might just come up and like punch you straight in the face next time. And
in the penis.
Well,
and also
he invited me down, and then you ruined it. So
I just saw David Kyle just joined us on Instagram. So
he might be listening right now.
He might probably. They're talking shit. I know they are.
Yeah. It's gonna kill him. He can't help. Well, he'll probably run up here and
he'll run
up here.
God damn it!
Dave is the best. Just entered the chat. So what? One thing you can
Well,
revisit.
tell me, out of curiosity, what did you guys say?
I said WrestleMania 19 because I am a nerd.
Oh,
As
like
can
you would
see,
go back and redo it again, you mean? Or you didn't get to go, or what?
No, I was there. I was in Seattle. It was the day I turned 18, and it was like just the atmosphere. There were 64,000 people there. Just the atmosphere was just. I've never. Now, of course, my marriage was wonderful. Birth of my children was wonderful. But there's a different, like, emotion of having a family event like that and actually being at something you've liked since you were 5, surrounded by all that electricity. It's just, I don't know. I don't know how to explain it. I know it's the wrong answer. I said that at the beginning. That's what I said.
Well, I think there's probably more than one thing you could go back. I mean, for different reasons, right? Like, I don't know. I don't think there's anything wrong with that.
Also, the day of my wedding was outdoors and it was fucking cold. It was like 39.
Oh.
Because my wife's like, it'd be fun getting married in October.
Well, early October, maybe.
Amy's correcting us here in the chat.
Oh.
David said, I would totally go back to my wedding to relive it. It was the best day ever.
Who said that? My husband?
David Kyle, yes.
Oh.
David Kyle from Huntsville.
That's not what he said, though.
It's not what he said.
Oh.
He's trying to make up for it.
He said he would not. That is.
There you go. This is the official question.
What is
Amy didn't give me a chance to answer, so.
What is your answer?
I didn't have one, so I'm glad she didn't give me a chance.
TWeave takes like 19 minutes to answer anything, so we have to move on.
I am from Alabama. I need extra time.
That's exactly what he said at the time.
Well, I would probably be terrible too because I'm an overthinker and I don't like. I'm not good at just coming up with stuff on the fly either. So,
I have good answers. I just can't say.
I had a great answer, but then I started throwing motherfuckers under the bus after I answered.
What was your answer? I am very curious, actually.
He said something about salty banana bread. I don't remember.
Oh, you want to come back to my house and bake? Do you now?
I don't mean to interrupt the segment, but somebody on our show account tweeted, Dave was being a dick and left. Jandie has taken over the show. It was not me.
Is that a bad thing?
It was not me.
Do they want me to leave the show?
No. It's somebody posted from our account. I'm guessing it was Dave. So
it had to be.
Does anyone want to guess? Does anyone want to guess the first person who liked it?
David Kyle.
No.
He liked his own post?
No.
I don't know.
Paul Bromwell.
Oh.
Which, if he's watching this, Paul, text me and I will give you the key to get in this room.
Well, it was funny. I was talking to Paul a little bit the other day and I asked him about something and I'd asked him, I was like, hey, when's the next hot tub happy hour? But apparently that's not a thing he's doing anymore.
He's more family oriented now.
No, we're going to start doing that here on our network.
Are we?
Yes.
Okay. What are we going to talk about?
Jandie's happy hour.
Whatever we want to talk about.
Dave's backwards song in a hot tub. That's what we're going to talk about.
Well,
actually, I'm pouring a concrete patio at my house this year, and I'm getting a hot tub as well, so we can do dual.
Oh, that could be fun.
We're also going to do a cooking show. All of us.
God damn, I got to buy a hot tub.
I mean, you don't have to, but it'd be not as fun for you, probably.
You live in Kentucky. You'd buy a hot tub and be gone in a week because of a tornado would take it.
Well, no, I just buy one of those feeder tubs for the cows and fill it with water.
You have cows?
That's the most Buffalo Bob thing you've ever said on
in
the show.
Kentucky, yes, we have lots of cows.
I don't know.
Cows in Alabama?
The cows away and get in there. Yeah.
So, cooking show. How do you feel about that?
I've thought about it. I like to cook. Truthfully, the only reason I haven't done it is because the idea of having to like figure out how to video it and edit it and like put it all together, that part stresses me out. If I had somebody who could come just film it for me and all I had to do was the cooking part, it'd be great. But
that's what Dave's there for.
Because people forget we don't want to watch you beat eggs for 4 minutes.
Right. You have to right. And I don't know how to do all that. And so that's why I haven't done it.
The first thing I would do first thing I'm gonna do for the Patreon when we start the cooking show. Actually, I believe it's called "Put It in Your Mouth." Is I'm gonna do my all Blackstone. What is the word? I just forgot it.
Overrated. Whatever it has to do
Shut
with
up.
Blackstone.
All Blackstone.
Overrated.
All
Fuck
Blackstone New Orleans gumbo.
Oh.
You can't
sounds
do
good.
gumbo on a fucking flat top.
Why not?
Because it's like a soup.
I know.
You got a pot on your black top?
Yes. And I also have a skillet with my roux going the whole time because I sear everything first. Then I bring out the pot with my broth and my rice in it and throw everything in so the sears there and it just kind of marries everything nicely.
Just cook it on a fucking stove. Stop
It's
it.
boring. I like being outside. Why are you such a douche? You know? Shitting on people's
It's the
dreams
man
immediately. You haven't even tried it. Like, dumb. Awful. I know New Orleans gumbo. I live in Kentucky.
I learned New Orleans gumbo. Yes. Took a cooking class.
How
in
much
New Orleans.
bourbon goes in here?
Who
No bourbon.
was
No
the
bourbon.
instructor of your cooking class? Was his name Ronald by chance?
No.
Did he have huge feet and red shoes?
he was Ronald.
By the way, Dave was just
He just
talking
put on a big
mad
fake
shit in the
mustache.
Instagram chat, and I haven't read any of it, but it's all him. He just keeps answering his own shit. It's great.
It's like he's on the show. Just I'll
oh,
say
hold on.
something and answer it.
Time out. We never went to what you would revisit if you had the chance to.
Well,
By the way, Timmy, look who's on the TV right now. The Red Rooster.
oh, look at that hair.
Isn't
Oh,
that
yeah.
nice?
That's
So
something.
I'm going to give you the backstory in this gimmick and show you how big of a moron this guy is. So they gave him a gimmick,
LA looks, baby.
and his name is Terry Taylor. His real name's Terry Taylor. They gave him a gimmick, and they said, listen, I want you to make yourself be the cock of the walk. We're going to call you the Red Rooster. That was what he came up with. And he started walking to the ring like a chicken. And it literally like this, flapping his wings and bocking his head, and then did his hair up like that. And he was like, oh, they want me to be a chicken.
Well, the difference between 1989 and 2024 is if they told me, hey, we want you to be the cock of the walk, I would walk out pantless.
By the way, also after seeing Orange Cassidy, Red Rooster would get over today. Over.
Maybe.
So, Jandie, an event in your life you could revisit. Go. No pressure. 5 seconds.
Well, you want to know
And
the
if
first?
Dave's
do you
involved,
want to
then
know?
we know you're lying.
Well, do you want to know the first thing that actually popped into my head? And now this is probably going to be
Yes.
along the same lines of like not appropriate because I in theory should probably also. I mean, my wedding was great. I would do it again 100%. Like
Dave,
there's a lot of things I would do, but
Dave,
but-
mute your Instagram for a minute. Go ahead.
But the first thing that popped into my mind that I want to go do again is I want to go back to Hawaii. Which I know sounds terrible because there's no like sentimental value, but I really enjoyed when we went to Hawaii, other than Dave didn't come there feeling the best and then he kind of passed it to me. But I would take the girls and I would go back and like I would relive the Hawaii experience, which I know that's not anything sentimental, but
at least he was there, so you're not like throwing him out. So
I literally said a wrestling show. So
well,
So
and
if-
again, I did truthfully, like I loved our wedding. I would go back and do that again too. But I think maybe the difference is like the wedding was great, but there was also a level of stress. And the same thing with childbirth. My childbirth was great, but gross and kind of stressful. So like having the kid part was cool. And I would love to go back to certain parts, but like the act of doing it again, I don't know.
See,
it's a little bit of stress.
I think the wording is what got screwed up there. It's not experience because that like says moment.
right.
What time would you come back to?
Ooh, like we're going back to like an age
Jandie,
group.
you answered that perfectly.
So we're going back to like an age group.
Well, no, but like
It was something you witnessed was the exact
like
word.
you say
Right,
moment, and
witness-
I think I condense it down to like a 6-hour period. But
So I can't pull up.
Jandie was like, hey, this week We had a great time.
I can't pull up Instagram comments on here like I can from YouTube and everywhere else. So I'm gonna type what Dave just I'm not making this up. I'm gonna type what he just responded. And then I have another question that I think will spark some good conversation. If I can remember between now and then, because I already forgot it.
Everybody quiet.
Drinking. Yeah.
Let him finish.
I'm 3 in. I'm getting ready to pour number 4 because this show is 8 years long. Okay, so I typed
the
it
Red
all.
Rooster is in the ring.
Here we go. This is what Dave just posted in the Instagram chat.
Bobby
Boom.
Heenan.
Oh, I remember. So this is for everyone, not just Jandie, but I'm really intrigued to hear her answer here. Top 3 travel destinations you have not been to yet.
I have not been to yet.
My number 1 is Japan, and it's a runaway.
I've been there. I like Japan.
I want to go to Japan real bad.
I went to Okinawa. I would go back. Well, on my list has been Spain, and we're going in August. So we're going to do Spain. That's up there. I want to go to Costa Rica.
I've heard good things.
Yes. And gosh, I have a lot. I would say Greece is probably another one that I want to do sooner rather than later. Probably be my top 3.
Interesting. Timmy. If you say anywhere in the continental United States, I'm going to punch you in the throat. The next time I see you.
Not even close. I want to do it.
Anderson, Wyoming. Frog Bowls, Arkansas, number 2.
I want to do Italy.
Okay.
I want to do Australia.
Good day.
And I want to do
Shout
Germany.
out to Klondike.
Germany is where my sister lives. I want to go there.
Dave
Thank God it wasn't a clean sweep of mine there.
Timmy said, I'm sorry, David said, David, listen to me.
David.
Change your username. Dave said Fiji, the Maldives, and London.
Okay. We've talked about
he and I like beaches. I picked something that was not beaches. Although
and then his next comment was Timmy wants to go to Lexington, Kentucky. TWeave, you're up. I'm curious for yours because you made yourself seem very simple man from Alabama this whole show. So I'm very curious to hear these 3.
Well, it's gonna sound like a repeat because I was gonna say Italy. I was gonna say Australia.
Good day.
And I'll say Ireland.
Ireland.
Also
again, once again,
to go there.
Shout out to Klondike with the Australia reference. So my 3. See, I like to go off the beaten path. I don't like to go things that everyone else wants to. By the way, we're getting ready for the main event, Macho Man Anniversary, Hulk Hogan. But so again, I just said it. Japan's my number 1. It's not close. And I just did Germany last month, and Germany was a great time. I had a great time in Germany. New Zealand, Switzerland, and Budapest. That's a good one.
By the way, Sarah's going to Italy and Croatia
so she's
here in about a month.
Okay, that's awesome.
But a big reason also, not a big reason. I mean, I want to go to Japan to experience the culture, but also because I know I get a layover in Hawaii, so that's added bonus. I don't know why, but I've always wanted to do Toronto, but I'm not going to count it in my top 3.
Okay.
So my top 3 is Japan. Lauren recommends Switzerland. Great choice. Japan. I tried real hard when I was in the Air Force to get stationed in Iceland, in Reykjavik. Or, I'm sorry, Keflavik. So Iceland's number 2. And then, then it's a toss-up between, like Dave said, London. And I feel like everyone goes to Paris all the time. And I don't want to be surrounded by other tourists when I'm visiting a city like that. So I think I'm going to go off the beaten path here. And I'm going to do like the Canary Islands or something like that.
Nice beaches. So the craziest thing, Sarah went to Iceland last year. Craziest thing she told me. And I was like, what the fuck? She ate horse in Iceland.
What
By the
does
way,
it
Jandie,
taste like, I
apparently,
wonder?
because JD Hoop also now in the Instagram chat, apparently him and Dave are having a side conversation in front of my face, and you're going to be in the show art this week. Just a heads up.
Oh, with I look wonderful this week. This is going to be fantastic on my way to the shower.
The magic of JD, he does not have to use that picture.
Oh, good.
I will show you an example.
But I hope he does.
Oh, thanks, Tim. I appreciate you. I mean, you wear a man bun and glasses every day, so like, come on.
You should see the picture of Joe C. he used this week.
And JD designed this dress for Miss Elizabeth when he was in kindergarten.
He did, and the Macho Madness robe, little known fact. So I will show you some cover art JD did for us in February. To me, it's still my favorite. Only because like he set the bar so high with this.
No, this week's was my favorite.
Really?
Yeah.
This is my favorite still.
The Simpsons.
How do you beat that?
That is funny. That's
Kid
good.
Rock stomping through a cemetery
with Josie's
with a penis hanging out.
Yeah. Which, by the way, Timmy, I didn't give you enough credit. That's one of your possibly your best line ever on this show.
That Josie has a 4-foot dick hanging out
because Dave said he's 3'9" with a 10-foot dick. No, you said that, and then Dave goes, "Well, now he's 6 foot under with a 10-foot dick," and then you said, "Well, now he's got 4 foot of dick hanging out the ground," and that was it. It broke me when you said it. I could hear it when I listened back to it the other day. I was broken. I didn't know what to do. One of the few times in the show, I was just completely lost. I don't know where to go from here. What do I do now? By the way, Jandie, just for reference, I'm sure you can see the wrestling show on that we're watching, WrestleMania.
Yeah,
5.
I saw Hulk Hogan. I actually know who he is.
Yeah, so we got Miss Elizabeth right there, Kentucky Zone, Macho Man Randy Savage, Hulk Hogan. So this storyline really started actually at this building, WrestleMania 4, a year prior. So it was then a good guy, Macho Man, won the World Wrestling Federation title in a tournament because Hulk Hogan, in his storyline, got injured, but in reality was going to film No Holds Barred, the movie. So this whole year since has been Hulk Hogan and Randy Savage joining forces called the Mega Powers. And Miss Elizabeth here in real life is Macho Man's wife. But also, he's also his valet to the ring. She didn't say much. Even when Macho Man was a heel, she never cheated. Nothing. She's really like the original and only of her kind since. Because I don't know if anyone else could have gotten away with this. Because she literally did nothing. She just stood in the corner and clapped when he was a heel, and then when she was a babyface, she same thing. So, but it was the wholesome image. Always wore elegant dresses, the hair, the gloves. Like she just was the epitome of elegance. And when you're surrounded by corn farmers from Iowa, they're in. So, since in this time, Macho Man has felt that Hulk Hogan really had lust in his eyes for Miss Elizabeth. So he has turned, as we call heel, or he turned into a bad guy. Officially about a month or two before this show. So now this is the blow-off match of the rivalry. Macho Man is your world champion. He is fighting Hulk Hogan, who's challenging for the title. And again, this is the blow-off of a 1-year storyline. And in many wrestling fans' minds, this is the greatest storyline ever.
Interesting.
The story of the Mega Powers exploding.
So, I was going to ask you who wins, but you probably are going to make us wait till the end, huh?
I'm not gonna say it because you're watching it. I'm sure all of our listeners and viewers know it. And if you do know it, if you're watching this and you're gonna put it in the chat, don't be a dick. Just let her enjoy it. You know what I mean? Don't be that guy.
Huh.
And by the way, the tans on these gentlemen is just next level.
Yes. But I do like that they don't have a lot of the guys right now that come out have the slimy hair. They look all that's kind of gross. At least they don't have slimy hair.
There was only a handful of people here in 89 that were doing that. There wasn't a bunch. And I'm going to tell you too. So this is at Trump Plaza in Atlantic City. This is the second year in a row they had WrestleMania there. The year after this, it would be in Toronto at the Skydome. So on the same night, so there's another company called NWA, National Wrestling Alliance, Jim Crockett Promotions. Actually, no, I'm sorry. They were dead by now. So it's NWA, WCW, National Wrestling Alliance / World Championship Wrestling. They decided to hold us because this is on pay-per-view. This is the infancy of pay-per-view. So they decided, because they're direct competition, and WWF had done it to them a few times, they were going to show a mega show of their own on the same night on free television to counter program it. It's called Clash of the Champions 6, The Ragin' Cajun. We just covered it last week. It was live in the Louisiana Superdome, which if you know nothing about the Superdome, I'm going to fill you in a little bit. It's the home of the New Orleans Saints. It's like the second biggest dome in the South, I believe, behind only the Georgia Dome. It seats.
I think
it
I've
seats
been
like,
there.
Yeah, probably with Dave.
I
like,
think we went to New Orleans and we went to the stadium. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. So under normal circumstances, that stadium seats about 68,000 people. And that wrestling card had a phenomenal show on it. I mean, it had Ricky Steamboat and Ric Flair for the NWA World Title, two of the biggest names at the time. And they had a great match, even though it was like 49 minutes long. And Dave said you also saw Kelly Clarkson there. And huge. I mean, it was a big time card. Now, this was almost 3.5 hours. That one was only 2. But here's what's fun and why WCW is no longer in business is because in the leading up to the event and building the card and building television anticipation for the show, they forgot to promote it locally. So in a 68,000 seat arena, they drew 5,035 people.
Whoops.
So we watched.
Can we talk about how Hogan just talked to Trump about how bad?
What do I do
Savage
next,
was?
Donald? So the venue is so dark, you cannot see the announcers' faces because they don't want you to see how empty the building is. It's outstanding.
No.
And again, it sucks because the show was good. It was a good show. No one saw it.
Well, hopefully everybody saw it on TV.
Oh, they did. It did good television numbers, but you make a lot of your money on events on the gate at the live event, and not so much. I don't know.
In the 80s, you did.
I don't know what the rent for the Superdome is, but I'm betting it's more than $7 a ticket at 5,035 people.
35 grand.
Yeah.
Now, that's probably about what it was. But you also have to figure you have to pay your people and all that.
So I have a question. Who is Sarah? She travels a lot. I want to know what she does for work.
Timmy, who's Sarah?
Sarah is my girlfriend.
Oh, and she travels all the time, it looks like.
Yes, she's extensive at traveling.
What does she do? Is it for fun or for work?
No, she works for Pinnacle in Nashville.
Pinnacle Vodka?
No, the bank.
Oh.
Oh.
I really wish she worked for a vodka company.
Me too.
As I make a drink of vodka.
In fact, she wishes she worked for a vodka company too.
Okay.
Mark's our friend Moose, aka Mark Cyrus, possibly the dumbest question I've ever seen. How is WrestleMania 5 more entertaining than AEW Dynamite? Where would you like me to start? The crowd. We'll just start there. The venue looks better. There's actually people here. Which is
Hulk Hogan's there.
Hulk Hogan. I love, by the way, I love the fact that I'm not, and by the way, I'm not trying to lessen the degree of the shitty things Hulk Hogan said. They're shitty. But I love the fact that Hulk Hogan is now based irrelevant in the wrestling industry because he said the N-word a couple years ago. Like, because of that.
And by a couple
his career
years,
doesn't exist.
A decade ago.
Yeah. But I just love because of that, he like his career never happened. He never drew millions of dollars. He never set the standard for merchandising or pay-per-view buys. It just didn't happen. He wasn't that big a deal. Are you shitting
Did
me?
those guys know where wrestling would be without him?
We would be watching it probably still on closed circuit, if I had to guess.
Lou Thesz would still be wrestling.
He's been dead for some time. Actually, we just covered it, didn't we?
Oh, so he's referencing this podcast.
Oh,
By the way, our spots are way better than all their spots.
it's true.
Nobody here's gone through a car windshield and legit injured themselves.
And we're honest.
Yeah. Our women's wrestling is better simply because we have Jandie talking.
Well, never mind. I'm not going to say it. I'm just I'm going to keep that one to myself. Not because I was afraid I was going to upset Jandie. It was going to be a Twitter storm I didn't really want to start. So I'm just not.
And by the way, everyone on this podcast, I'm just guessing with TWeave, by the way, everyone knows how to tie their shoes here.
Since I started wearing Hey Dudes, I think I forgot, actually.
Oh, shit. All right. So we are back to AEW level. Sorry.
We're back.
Sorry.
You need to grab another ginger soda.
What are you drinking, TJ?
Moscow Mule. So I had to get my cold ginger soda out of the fridge.
Oh.
See, I got my
Because you
lime
can't have a
juice right
warm
here.
ginger soda. Goddamn.
David Kyle from Alabama says he now wears Velcro shoes. I don't know what that's about. Is that true? Is he
That's
rocking
an upgrade from his slip-ons. He just learned to Velcro.
Why do I not see his comments, by the way?
Because it's only I can
Does
only
he
see it
have
on
me
Instagram.
blocked?
It's only on Instagram. So is it true? Is Dave rocking some Voits in your house, which I forgot made shoes till just now?
No, he wears flip-flops or Hey Dudes.
He's got some
And
diabetes shoes.
Fun fact about Dave is you can always tell when he comes home where he's been and what he's done because there's traces of him to include his shoes like all over the place. So
Jandie, I don't know if you know you're over with our crowd.
I'm over? Like they want me to leave?
No. You're big time.
I'm over. Like they want me to leave.
Like canceled.
I'm done? Okay, time out.
This should be fun. We need to start a show where we explain wrestling lingo to Jandie. That would be fun.
Like wrestling with wives could be a fun thing.
We almost did it long ago when Timmy had one.
But we got to have wives.
Sarah, you in?
I will allow it.
By the way, she also has a wrestling knowledge, so
my wife does not.
We could mix it in with like current kid lingo. My children like to find it really funny to try to teach me stuff that they're saying now, and it makes no sense at all.
Give us an example, because I don't. My daughter is only 5, and my 7-year-old doesn't talk. So what are the kids saying? Just so I'm prepared for when it comes at me.
Oh, it'll be different probably in 6 months, and I'm probably now going to say this wrong too because it didn't even make sense. The other day, Ansley said something about yeet, and I'm like, well, what the heck does that mean?
That's Jimmy Uso.
Yeah, that's wrestling stuff.
Was that the right word? Maybe Dave can put it in Instagram. Maybe that wasn't the right word. But what it meant
well,
was
if she said skeet, then you got issues.
No, it was, and I said, well, what does that mean? And she said, that's
Sarah's
what you say.
in.
Sarah, you should have phrased that better.
She said, that's what you say when you throw a ball. I was like, what?
I've never heard that in my life.
Yeah, you yeeted. That was the original thing where this guy was playing. There was a video online of a guy playing chess or something, and he got pissed off and he yeeted the thing.
Well, and there's some
who was watching chess videos?
TWeave.
I don't know. I wasn't watching it.
I wasn't playing. I just saw.
I wasn't there.
Bishop to Rook 9, bitch.
That's why TWeave didn't answer what he would relive. He was at that chess match. Don't be embarrassed. Just say it.
Well, another one is mid, and MJF invented that.
I love Southern accents
mid.
so much. Mid.
Yeah, all right. MJF did not invent mid. Just so you know. No, he did not.
Oh, he did.
Wasn't even close.
Oh, I was right. It was yeet. That's what he just said.
I'm looking it up. I think he did.
You think MJF invented mid?
I remember the first time I said going ham. I was like 37, and I felt incredibly stupid afterwards. But
I invented the internet.
I said it as a joke, not as like I was being serious, like using it in an actual sentence. I was like, man, I'm going ham on this chicken I'm seasoning or whatever. And my wife was just like, "Shut up, dummy." I was like, "Yeah, you're right." More
You
brown sugar.
can't go
Like,
ham on a chicken. That's stupid.
I think he did.
Macho Man's dead, by the way.
I like ham. Thank you, Dave. It's a great Thanksgiving meat.
He's
Boy,
told you
that's
that
a
story. He's told you that story. That's a controversial topic in this household.
Let's talk about it. Because I was just going to say that's a controversial take.
Ham is a good Thanksgiving meat.
Now, my family,
Thank
let me rephrase. My wife's family does both. They'll do the turkey
No.
and the honey glazed ham.
No, you can do both at Christmas. Fuck off on Thanksgiving.
See, I'm a Christmas ham guy, not Thanksgiving
Ham
ham.
away from
Day.
both for
Thank
me.
you.
I hate
Thank
ham.
you.
Yeah.
I'm
On
glad we're all in
Thanksgiving-
agreement, and Dave is not here because he disagrees.
It's
Thanksgiving is for
fucking turkey day. Like
Yeah.
you can cook turkey 27 ways.
And
How
it's
do you- how do
delicious,
you
by
cook
the
your
way.
turkey? How do you cook your turkey?
Dave smokes it.
Mm.
And it's delicious. It's phenomenal, and he loves it. But he likes to complain. He's mad because I don't feel the need to cook ham. We have a giant turkey, and historically we've always celebrated with my family, and they all prefer turkey. And so ham is just one more dish, one more thing. We have 100 sides, desserts galore. I skipped the ham, and he lost it. He's like, "Wait, we're not having ham? Ham, really?" I'm like, "You're the only one who eats it. I'll give it to you the next Sunday or Christmas or any other time, but we don't eat
Making a ham
ham on
sandwich.
top of it." Yeah, I'm just saying.
Hold on. Let's
Go back to Efren.
Efren with the line of the day.
He can stuff a turkey 27 different ways.
And that's just him standing up. He hasn't gone to other positions yet. So, see that what hold on. Before we move on with this, let's go basic. Your basic Thanksgiving spread. 3 items. What are they? They have to be on the table for Thanksgiving.
Well, I mean, turkey, mashed potatoes, and gravy for sure.
Okay, got 2.
Oh, mashed potatoes and gravy go together?
Absolutely. What else is the gravy
Absolutely.
for?
What are you doing here?
Other than soaking crescent rolls, which I'll give you that too.
You gotta have some good
Sweet
bread.
potato casserole. Come on.
I do like sweet potato casserole, but if I had to pick 3 items, I wouldn't do sweet potato casserole and mashed potatoes. I would
I
take the
wouldn't
mashed
either.
potatoes over the sweet potato casserole.
But that's your fitness going.
Are you
into it.
going
Like
marshmallow or
fat
no
kids
marshmallow?
are like, yeah.
Marshmallows all the way.
Okay, so that's a dessert. So that doesn't count.
Yeah.
It's
Well, I
not-
guess it is kind of, yeah. But I would take
No.
pumpkin pie over that too. So
Ooh, hot take. Woo. She's gonna start Twitter afire here. Can't do
does
that.
Twitter not like pumpkin pie?
I would say, look, I'm a pumpkin pie guy. Although my friend Chris at work, we're like,
The
if
battle
I
is sweet potato pie versus pumpkin pie.
If I work at a steel mill, so if I had a work wife, unfortunately it'd be Chris. But like it's not pumpkin pie, it's squash pie. Because pumpkin's not actually involved in it. And I'm like, you're a nerd, but thank you.
I mean, I understand a pumpkin is a type of squash, but like,
It's
what do you
pumpkin
mean it's not
spice.
involved?
It's pumpkin spice. It's not an actual. It's not ground up.
So when I make things with pumpkin, like Bryn and I actually grew pumpkins and we like cooked them and pureed them and actually put real pumpkin in it. So, I mean, maybe sometimes it doesn't have real pumpkin, I guess. I don't know, but
Pumpkin pie is the goat. You need to go have a discussion with him because now I think he's smoking crack down in the kitchen. I think
no, yeah. Pumpkin pie is not the goat.
He can have his ham and pumpkin pie.
ooh, I like pumpkin cheese. Well, really, there is a
Cheesecake
pumpkin-
is the best pie, by the
That's
way.
great.
Hmm,
And I've got
I love cheesecake, but
I've gotten to arguments with people whether or not cheesecake is pie or cake. It's
It's
pie,
a pie.
by the way, all
Pie,
day.
totally pie.
It's not close.
yeah, it's definitely more pie-ish than cake, I think.
So,
Yeah.
Timmy,
Chest
3
pie.
Thanksgiving staples.
Turkey.
Clearly.
3 ways, by the way.
Well, then that's all for you. No, I'm teasing.
No, you have to do it oven roasted. You have to do a smoked, and you have to fry one.
Okay.
You do all
3
3?
ways. Yeah.
You're why I can't buy turkey the week before Thanksgiving, you dick. You buy all of it.
Yeah, love it. Actually,
Okay.
for smoked, I just buy the breast.
Okay. I'm in.
But the rest of them, yeah, fucking yeah, awesome. Second off, mashed potatoes and gravy. Can't skip that. I hate you, Dave. And third, gotta have dressing. Dressing is great.
I can
So
take it or leave it.
For non-Southern people, dressing is stuffing. For people,
No, it's not.
I understand the difference, but most people do not. Okay,
Because we're about to go into it in a minute.
you do it. Let's hit me. I'm interested.
So that's mine. It replaces even the
I mean,
turkey.
we're
Screw
literally
the
watching
turkey.
one of the top 4 matches.
The turkey. I just
ever.
want stuffing. What?
I just want the dressing because I don't need the standalone turkey. I got the dressing, and I want some deviled eggs, and I want my mama's rolls, and I'm just pouring gravy all over that.
You want deviled eggs and gravy.
Eggs are gross. Eggs
love
are
deviled eggs.
eggs are the devil. Literally,
They are delicious.
They're deviled eggs because eggs are the devil.
Your after Thanksgiving shits have got to be silly. Deviled eggs and gravy. Lord.
Got a fork.
I'm a little upset. I'm gonna go last.
By the way, Hogan just won the title.
Yeah, no,
Mega Powers exploded, baby.
They got it wrong. Savage should have won. So I'm gonna do my 3 here. By the way, show's over. Turn it off. My top 3. Again, I'm a little upset no one's mentioned this. It's turkey fried. I fry my own turkeys every year. And then I'm gonna do give me stuffing, dressing, and then green bean casserole. What are we doing?
Ew.
Green bean casserole is the devil.
I don't
What
like
do you
it.
mean? You guys are heathens. What do you mean no to green bean casserole?
I love green beans, and I have an awesome green bean recipe that I make, but not the nasty, mushy, creamy stuff on top. Ugh. No, it's terrible.
It's the French fried onions that get
I don't like it.
Hold on. So you just said nay to traditional green bean casserole.
Correct.
But you have your own recipe.
Of a non-casserole. So I do green beans, and actually Dave doesn't like green bean casserole either. So I make broccoli casserole because we love broccoli casserole. So we do broccoli casserole.
Baby.
We do side green beans, and usually I feel like we do cream corn as well.
Oh, I'm in.
Yeah.
Also, I have another top comment from Instagram. I need to type out here. I'm going to type this out. I'm going to make sure I type her whole username so you can look her up. And if you look up her OnlyFans, it's just a picture of Jesus. So don't do that stuff. I almost read it out loud. Here we go. Add banner and boom. It's solid. That's a solid point.
It does. Yes. I'm in.
And it's so good.
Yes.
I didn't even read what she said. I was looking her up like you told me.
Stuffing comes through a turkey's ass. Okay.
So she legit a couple weeks ago, she put a joke link up on Twitter saying it was her OnlyFans. And you can actually, the last watch long, I looked it up in the middle of the show, and it's just a picture of Jesus when you go to the link. I was like, oh, you got me.
Maybe
I was going to promote. I was going to be nice.
Jesus in your life. Is that what she was telling you?
Yes. So I was going to be a friend because she's a friend of the show on Twitter. I was going to be a friend and promote it for her. Like, here's the link you go to if you want to do this. And I go, you got me. It's just Jesus.
That's awesome.
I was a fan, an only fan.
You were the only fan.
So, the show's over. WrestleMania 5. We've gone nearly 3 hours. Any closing thoughts on tonight? I really enjoyed this show. Jandie, I think you have a future in podcasting.
Oh,
I was going to say, I think we can go another hour, but
Timmy, I think you also have a future in podcasting. I can't wait for you to get good at it. TWeave, anything? You're awfully quiet there in the southern corner of the country.
I'm tired. Yeah,
I'm tired.
Nothing
of your,
much. I didn't
I'm
watch
tired
much
of your
of the actual
lethargy.
match.
I'm gonna
it's
need to
not
pick up the
9
pace.
o'clock. Fuck off.
No, that's rude. I mean, let's start there. Dave says this. We had pizza at our wedding. Did you really have pizza at your wedding?
We did. So
what the
another true
fuck?
story. So, but it wasn't like pizza. It was legit pizza. But we so kind of our running joke is every time we go to a wedding and you have like the food they make you buy or whatever, it's usually small portions and not that great. So after we leave a wedding, we go back to the hotel and order pizza. So we said at our wedding, we didn't want people to do that. And so we had the caterer make pizza. So we had pepperoni pizza and salad and
and there goes the AirPod.
I'm going to a wedding this weekend. I wonder what they're going to have.
So
not pizza.
We definitely did the pizza route. And then we had we did all different kinds of cakes and we had individual cakes on every single table. So you could cut and then go grab cake from wherever you wanted. So it was kind of fun.
And what kind of cake do we have at our table?
We had a cookie cake.
Cake.
For you, a groom's
Oh,
cake.
I like
My cake
that.
was regular.
That's good.
Florida State cookie cake.
Yes, we did.
So my wedding, we got catered by a place called the Skillet in South Bend. It's the same restaurant that caters the Notre Dame home games, Notre Dame football home games. Their macaroni and cheese. Get out. Like it's they do the cracker crumbles on top.
They're not gonna beat Sarah's macaroni and cheese. So
I don't know Sarah, and I like you. Just for the record, I'm gonna beg to differ. Their macaroni and cheese is no joke.
Macaroni and cheese sucks.
Guaranteed.
Let me ask you this though. But was it But was it good at your wedding? Because
Yes.
what I've learned is a lot of the tastings you go to are amazing because the food is fresh. But when they actually are cooking for 100, 200 people at a time and they make it ahead of time, by the time you get it, it's dry or this or that and not great.
I don't want to say there was no difference because there's transport involved. So there's going to be a little bit of a difference, but it was a minimal.
Okay.
It was dynamite. But wedding cake. So we had a sacrificial cake for the cutting and the smashing in faces and all that jazz. But for the guests, we did cupcakes.
Okay. Easier to eat.
Yeah. Cleaner. Cheaper. So it worked all the way around.
Longish. Yes.
Words thongish.
Did you tell him your story?
She did.
Thanks to your introduction
She's a
of
trooper.
the story.
Dave, I told your wife she has a history in she has a future in podcasting. So
we need to have Jandie watches wrestling.
Oh, that's
already talked about it.
She'll be like, that guy is Butter McFat Pants.
Jandie, Jamie, and Sarah. 3 people. Sarah, I guess, has some knowledge. My wife has none. Jandie has none.
Maybe Sarah can teach us what's going on.
I think
I know that there's zero chance of that.
You know what's fun, Dave, is me and you are doing Mid-Atlantic with Hermes. We got Pondwater and Timmy and a few of us doing World Class. We talk about doing Memphis and doing these other things. I can't remember about to say this. Having Jandie, Jamie, and Sarah do ECW.
No, drop them into like 1970s WWF.
But we don't like that, and we like wrestling.
So if they did the golden era and the weird gimmicks and stuff, they could try to guess.
Yeah, like Duke Drose.
Ooh. T.L. Hopper. Mantar. I like this.
Timmy saw her on the cruise.
2 of them. Dos Mantar. They're like the conquistadors, but they were Mantars. And they were ladies.
Timmy was with 2 fatties on a cruise ship, and I called them
All
Mantars.
right. Wait a minute. No.
He was passed out and had a hot tub with 2 Mantars.
He was not with 2 Mantars.
He was.
That's why his fingers are all crooked.
It was 1 in the afternoon. Timmy was passed out, and they had their way with Timmy. And we took pictures.
That's why we couldn't get to port. The boat was freaking rocking.
And the thunderstorm. I mean, we can't give it all to Timmy. Can't give him all the credit. He's not that good in a hot tub, rocking the whole boat. That would have lasted 38 seconds. Like Molly Hatchet, flirting with disaster. Let's settle down, okay?
I think we got to get Jandie a Twitter account. She's Jandie on X.
She doesn't have Twitter?
No.
I don't have Twitter.
Oh, we got to fix that.
I don't know how many more things I can do in my life. I suck at keeping up on Snapchat, and I like Instagram and
Snapchat for 9-year-olds.
Snapchat?
A lot of people are on Snapchat, and I have it, but I don't ever go on it. When I go on, I have all these messages because I forget that I have it on my phone. I have Instagram and I have Facebook, but that's all. Yeah.
You need X.
Yeah.
Maybe. All right, I'm gonna let you close out your show, y'all. It has been fun. I'm gonna go tell the girls goodnight and get ready to take a shower.
We got joke of the week.
All right, you tell your jokes.
Well,
All right,
we still
guys. Good night.
Thank you. Bye, Jandie. We still have to close the show here. So, that was WrestleMania.
By the
5.
way, I'm watching
Until
WrestleMania
you put
6
me
at
along.
this point.
You should stop that. Arguably, I mean, top 3 favorite WrestleManias for me. I didn't watch a minute of it because it's like we always have fun doing this show, but 3 hours straight, and I was entertained the whole time, and never watched WrestleMania 5. Might be a new for us. TWeave, thank you. Miss Amy, Pondwater Dave, Jandie. Anybody else join us? I'm forgetting. Dave,
I did.
you're always on the show.
There were some folks in the chat that are in our.
So I mean, Efren, MK3 Kratos,
Sarah.
Moose came and joined us tonight.
Antonio was there.
Antonio.
Yep.
You know, actually, Efren said it best just now. Efren, thank you.
Carla showed up
twice.
We have
Yes,
TWeave,
thank you.
Jen So Vicious with her Jesus Only fans.
Carla?
Carla Olsen. How could we not? One of our besties on the show, Carla Olsen.
And we need to give a shout out to Klondike. We hope you get better, buddy.
Absolutely.
Definitely.
Unfortunate situation.
Prayers. And I mean it.
So next week, I guess I should pull up.
All right, stop.
Did I actually write down where I did write down where
Nope,
next week.
stop.
Okay.
TWeave, prayers, and I mean it.
Some people lie about that. I don't lie
I'm
about it.
waiting for TWeave to just throw up prayers for somebody and be like, nah, I don't.
You know
mean
what?
that.
He's not
Fuck
wrong
off.
about that. Prayers, and I mean it. 'Cause some people lie about
I
it.
mean, sometimes that's the last thought people have about stuff. That they say they're going to pray and they're full of shit.
That's an Alabama thing. Prayers,
Because
and I
in
mean
Indiana, your last thought is, oh shit. That's your last thought up here in the north. So anything else we want to get off our chest before we send this bitch home?
it. No, send it home. Goddamn.
All right. If you enjoyed this week's episode, please let us know. Give us that 5-star review or get this podcast. Make sure to follow the show on Twitter at FF Popcast, on Instagram at Filter Free Popcast, and make sure you follow us on Instagram because you never know we're going to do a live show, and we'll always live stream on Instagram. And of course, our YouTube channel, youtube.com. Search Filter Free Popcast. You'll find us. Follow our new Patreon network on Twitter at RamSportsNet. As for us, you can find us on our social media platforms at TWeave. This is where you say your Twitter handle.
Oh, at TWeave79. You almost had it by yourself.
Dollar Bill Dave.
Follow me on X.
No.
At Dave in the HSV.
Timmy C.
At Timmy C 1979.
And I am at T Stevens 91. Next week, you ready for this? World Championship Wrestling, May 14th, 1 year prior, 1988. And remember, May is the year. We're going back to 1969. It's week 2. Jordan.
I washed my hair that night.
You will be here that night. Michael Jordan owns the Cavaliers. Florida has a lot of cocaine. The USSR is going nuclear and so much more. This has been the Filter Free Popcast, and so long for now.
Joke of the week. Why do lesbians always shop at the Sports Authority?
They don't like dicks?
Because they don't like dicks.
What? I get another point for have you seen it. I win by 30 this week.